Eastbound. It's the DC Auto Super Lates 150. That was horrible, Dylan. We are here in Martinsville Speedway. It must have been the India Bear that chuckled me up here. But it's great to be here tonight in Martinsville, USA. It is the third session of the 2021 season, and drivers are already getting set gridding here already. We had qualifier the past 1 hour, and I got my good friend Dylan Langeau from up along, and myself here, Colin, Mike James from Eastbound International Speedway. Welcome in for Eastbound eSports. Dylan, How's it going, bud?
Good, sir. I thought you were going to blame that intro on me for a second. Like, brother, I wasn't the one talking. But hello to everyone watching on Tim's Corner TV, the Facebook, and Vidane TV. Hello to all my Newfoundland friends through the power of the internet. And I tell you what, we got a big night coming up with the DC Auto Double tonight. Got 150 laps here in Martinsville with the super late models. And then we are going dirt racing on the brand spanking new Bristol Dirt. But again, we've got 150 laps to sort through, and I believe these are the new super late models that have been added to iRacing. So this is going to really mix things up here, I believe, Mike.
Yeah, this is the big update here today. Bristol Dirt now in session. We're going to see it for the first time here tonight. But before we get to that, we got the DC Auto Super Lates right here. 150 laps on the board for the third session for Eastbound eSports. And we are setting the grid already. And look who's on the pole. It's the 17 machine of Ricky Miller. And he'll have the 54, a DC Auto machine from Torbay, Newfoundland, Labrador. It's Nick Codner to the outside.
Just the teaser here and a spoiler. The whole field is Islanders, whether it's Newfoundlanders or Islanders from PEI. Jason Goss and Bob Hutchings on the second row in the 41 and the 77. Troy Burke, one of the PEI Islanders in this field. Next to him, Robbie Cable in the 03.
Tyler Rourke making his debut here tonight in the 9. He's going to take it all the way to the back, so it'll be Mitchell Hutchings and Matt Janes in the next row. The 78 of Mitchell Hutchings, the son of Bob Hutchings from Central Newfoundland.
I apologize there. I got Tyler Rourke and Troy Burke all mixed up there. Either way, we have Dave Horton in the 73 car, Nathaniel Wall in the number 24, Phil Fowler, the number 11, Chantel Pottle, lone lady in the field, Noah Healy, and Corey Reed at the back of the field. So it looks like 15, 16 cars here tonight for this Eastbound race, Mike.
Yeah, some stout drivers, but we got a visitor.
Oh, wait. Someone's knocking. Someone's knocking. Who's that?
Just a quick note, we have 5 end of longest line penalties that were requested by the drivers. So Matt Janes, Dave Horton, Brandon Hiscock, Nathaniel Wall, Robbie Cable. We'll start at the back. And Paul, get a nice shot of that pace car because that is the brand new iRacing sedan pacing the field, getting ready to come to green.
We are getting set here. Lights are out on the pace car. No messing around here tonight, Dylan. 150 laps here in Martinsville, and we are going to go green, and it's going to be the 17 of Ricky Miller to get things going, and the 54 of Nick Cotner to the outside. As they come around the corner here, we are officially now set to go for the DC Auto 150, and it looks like Ricky Miller got a little help from Jason Goss. Goss throws it in there. There's body rubbing all over the place coming out of one, and now the 17's around. Welcome, and here, stack it up. What a way to get things going here in the first lap, Dylan.
Yeah, well, all these new 5-star bodies, you're going to have to get some new panels on a few of these here. And early on, we're going to bring in our good pal, Paul Showtime Strickland from Connecticut. Big wreck there on the backstretch, Paul. What exactly transpired?
Looks like a little bit of wheel spin up towards the front of the pack. You know, I got excited when we got the knock on the door. I thought that was the pizza guy. Somebody said something about buying me pizza here tonight, but apparently I'm mistaken. But a little bit of wheel spin up front, it looks like. You can see the 17 down low, trying to gather it back up. And as he tried to set himself up in the corner, just kind of bouncing off the 41 car, off the bump, down in the bottom of the corner there. And just a lot of cars trying to go for the same piece of real estate. And, unfortunately, the way physics works in both simulation and in real life, you can't have more than one object in the same spot. So pretty cool to see that these cars just came out today. A lot of cool looking paint schemes, some kind of generic, still having the primary cars coming out of the paint booths, but still pretty cool to see a lot of these super late models painted up already. These just came out a few hours ago, I believe. iRacing released them here, so pretty exciting, and we'll see what we got. Early caution here. Hopefully we can get everything straightened out and get some good, clean green flag racing here at Martinsville.
And for those tuning in from home or on your phone, there is the YouTube link. You can watch this live right on your TV set. Just YouTube Vidane TV and put it on the surround sound and enjoy an evening of racing here with the TCM special event and the Eastbound eSports. But the good thing is for these drivers, Dylan, they do have a quick fix here tonight. So unfortunately for some, they are going to use it on lap number 1.
That's the way it goes with iRacing, and especially with Martinsville. We've got the tight walls. The track's not very wide. The safer barriers as well, you can see here, that just takes up even more space on the track. So if a few cars turn sideways, that's pretty much going to set up a barricade for these drivers. So we are racing at two of NASCAR's most famous short tracks, legendary Martinsville Speedway and then Bristol. But again, we are dirt racing with the trucks a little later on tonight, the DC Auto Double. And a big thanks again to Doug Critch for setting this up tonight and sponsoring tonight's races. Yeah, we're going to have a little blast here. I'm looking forward to this race once we do get some green flag laps under our belt. And then dirt racing tonight, I don't really know what to expect with that. We're going to see who's really good on the dirt, I guess.
Yeah, everybody's going to be on the same playing field, brand new setup here tonight. Even in this race, with the brand new Super, they completely remodeled, which changed the physics of the car. So drivers are, learning the hard way here on lap number 1. Hopefully they can get the bugs out of it and get going here. A lot of practice time in the server throughout the week getting set for the 150 here in Martinsville. But close quarters here in the hairpin. But the pace car is going to exit. It's going to be Nick Codner to get the things going. He's got Hutchins to the outside, Goss and Healy to the back in second row.
So looks like everyone keeps her clean, no spinning of the tires, but how will turn 1 and turn 2 go? That's where we had all the trouble on lap number 1, but young Nick Codner gets in front of the Newfoundland legend Bob Hutchings, and looks like Jason Goss going to dive deep, and he body slams into the 77, and the 77's able to stiff arm him, and there we go. Another big pile up there in turn 4. This could be a night. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, well, with the new update, maybe it wasn't a good idea to throw the first race right on the update day, but we'll get through this and get these guys some green flag laps. But we're going to bring in Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr., to take us back in time. The Rainbow Warrior, 27, Corey Reed. I believe he's a 4-time champion, going all the way back to the quarter-mile track at Thunder Valley Speedway in central Newfoundland, and hoping to see him a little bit more often at Eastbound International coming this season. But it's been spending a bit of time in the iRacing server, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. Dylan, strategy here, but we're going to have Tim actually bump in.
Your pizza's here. Actually, no, Dylan, I don't know if your pizza got there yet or not, but I know DC Auto took care of you tonight. No fault cautions, by the way, boys, tonight. Just want to let you guys know, at least in this race, 2 drivers involved. 2 drivers will go to the back of the field. The 77 and the 41 is Showtime set on that replay are the 2 drivers that triggered that caution, so they will move to the back of the field. Bob, okay. Not too pleased, but I think with 100 and what do we got? 140 laps left to go. I think there's plenty of time.
100%. This sounds great. Having Tim bump in all the time. He's only next door, but that's a couple times we've heard from Tim tonight.
I'm sure it will not be the last, but I did get myself a little pizza. The girlfriend picked it up coming home from work, and so I'm all fueled up here for a fun night. Got my Coke Zero. Got to make sure the calories are low for tonight. And we're just under some pace laps right now, getting a good look at these new bodies on the super late models. And you may notice, the front ends look a little different. It's like the new 5-star bodies, Gen 6, if you will, I believe is what they call them. I love the look of them. Just a mean-looking car, and I can't wait for more cars here in the Maritimes to adopt that body style. A few sportsman cars drove with this type of body in 2020, so I expect to see some more in 2021 as well.
We're we're getting set to go green, green, green. It's going to be Fowler to the outside of row number 1 with the 54, Nick Codner, as Codner throws down here and gets things going. But Phil Fowler will throw down the throttle and come into the infield and hammer that wall, and that's going to draw out another caution, as we're having some issues here getting the runs going here. A little bit of a power difference from what they were practicing earlier, but I believe that's going to bring in Showtime Paul Strickland just to give us a quick replay of what happened with the 11.
Yeah, Kong Beer Bong getting a little bit of exposure here for the Kong Beer Bong instant replay, and there you can see Phil Fowler just mashes the gas pedal coming out of turn 4. It looks like the black and red car was already spinning. I believe that was the 84 of Noah Healy. In fact, it was. Let's see if we can back up the instant replay and find out. It looks like the same thing may very well have happened to the 84. We'll take a look at it from the blimp here in slow motion. But it's great to have Kong Beer Bong on board here with us at Vidane TV, a little bit of an affiliate sponsor. Check them out at kong.twodrunk.net. Pretty much a hardened plastic koozie that's got a funnel on it, so you can drink your beers really, really fast. So check that out. We had a little bit of a demonstration over on Twitch with myself and John Adams, a couple of members, the founding members of Two Drunk Esports. So very cool to have those guys on board, and we're just waiting for the green flag to drop on this replay, and we're going to take a look at the 84 Noah Healy. It looks like the exact same thing happened. The 51 kind of spun his tires. The 84 spun his tires just like the 11 of Fowler did. So drivers need to pretty much be aware that you can't really mash the gas coming out of turn number 4. You got to kind of feather into it just like a real late model.
Just gotta be a little careful, you know.
Just gotta tap it in. Just gotta tap it in.
Tap it in. Just tap it in.
I'm so glad you got that reference.
It's all in the hips.
Little Happy Gilmore.
Oh, the greatest movie of all time.
Well, it'll be interesting here. 15 laps. This is our third caution. Codner will have Dave Horton on the front row. Robbie Cable now moving up to row number 2. Corey Reed to the outside. Nathaniel Wall in row 3 with Matt James. Tyler Rourke making his iRacing debut here tonight. Spends a bit of time at the Eastbound International Dragway. So a little bit of a conversion here tonight, switching over to the oval. Likes to go pretty fast. Has won quite a few big championships at Eastbound. In his, I believe it was a 97 Camaro. So great to see him here tonight in the server.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Converting the drag over to the oval.
Yeah, I know a few guys that have done that, and it can be quite the adjustment. You know, you're going from these short little stints, trying to hammer out less than 10-second times on the drag strip, and then you're going right to the oval, having to turn left a bunch. Mikey, when's opening day for Eastbound? That's a May 2-4 weekend, long weekend?
Yeah, we traditionally every Victoria Day weekend. We've had a couple of delays with weather in the past. You know, sometimes the snow kind of lingers around here. We've got about 6 or 7 feet of snow outside right now, but everything's getting pumped up at Eastbound International Speedway. Lots of announcements coming in the next week. It's going to be a full throttle season, full from May 24th weekend all the way up to mid-October. Every week, back to back to back. So we're getting set to go once again here. Nick Codner will get the hammer once again. The Winco M&R DC Auto Machine gets things going here. Everything looks pretty smooth all the way back. So they're going to get it going, turn into turn 1 and 2.
Careful saying that.
But a lot of adjustments for these drivers. So hopefully they can get a couple of laps under their belt to get reacquainted with this brand new super late model. Just introduced today, like you said, Dylan.
Yeah, and like Paul said, you can't mash the gas too hard. You really got to feather the throttle to make sure you don't overdrive in the corner, which I think that's what was going on. A lot of drivers just were learning the car, basically. We saw the pole sitter, Ricky Miller, spin the tires big time on the start of this race, and then almost every time we restarted, including with the 11 of Phil Fowler, it just looked like they hammered the gas a little too hard, and the back wheels really took control and completely turned that car around. But I'll tell you who's taking control of this race, young Nick Codner in the 54. He's got a full straightaway lead over the number 73 of Horton.
Yeah, he's picked up over 1.6 seconds on Dave Horton, and then it goes back another full second to Robbie Cable, who's your P3 leader. in the 03 machine. Robbie Cable, one of our hobby stock drivers at Eastbound International. So we got quite a few different drivers peppered through from our Advanced Auto Parts late models right through down to our Bandoleros. But the caution's going to be dragged out on lap number 21, and that's going to bring in Paul because we did not get a peek at that on our screen.
Yeah, just kind of sifting through. I don't see anybody pointed in the wrong direction here. I do see... There's Tim.
It is the 77 and 78 are going to be your caution cars. It's the 24 that ends up going around.
Got it. So we'll pull that up on the old Kong Beer Bong instant replay, and we'll take a look at what went down. We're going to focus in on the 77 car, and you can see it gets up into that wall glue just a little bit. And we'll take a quick look here, and you can see the 77 running side by side with the 24 there. You can see the 9 car down low, and it looks like the 24 just hard on the brakes, gets up into the 77, kind of shoots him up the track into the wall there, and doesn't appear that was the caution. There you can see the 77 into the 78, and he kind of backs into the 24. So a little bit of a tangly situation there, but looks like everybody's able to... that's gonna make dinner a little bit awkward after the race, but
Dad, what the hell?
The heck, man! Thought we were friends. But
maybe they're in the same room. Someone just threw a beer bottle at the other one. Oh, Bob Hutchings, one of the the original founder of Thunder Valley Speedway out in Bishop Falls. Quarter mile track, Dylan, still operational, part of the Eastbound International group. Our good friend Brad Melindy talking about a season this summer. Lots of activity here on the island in the Oval. So we'll have 2 racetracks operational this summer, and it'll be great to see what transpires out in central Newfoundland this year.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. And hey, the more racetracks running, the better. And especially with the year that was for 2020, hoping that it's a strong year on the Rock and here in the Maritimes. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that Thunder Valley got a little more racing before Eastbound did. They were the first track to open up in Newfoundland last year. Yes, they did open up just a little bit earlier than us. We had a delayed opening right up till the I think it was the second or last weekend of August, so almost into Labor Day weekend. So unfortunately, due to the circumstances with the lockdowns and everything, we only got a 3-race season in, but it was great while it lasted, and everybody's pretty stoked for a full season. A lot of activity. I know one of our drivers will be a guest on the TCM Live next Monday, Mark Best from the Ghouls. He will be introducing his brand new Advanced Auto Parts NASCAR Weekly late model this season, and he's a Division II NASCAR champion from a couple of years ago. So exciting to see these guys progress through the sport and move up into Division I NASCAR. So it's exciting to have NASCAR back. Last year we took a year off because of the delayed opening. So NASCAR back in action at Eastbound this season. So pretty excited about the Advanced Auto Parts joining on, and some big news coming up next week. But we are gone back green. Nick Codner gets things going into 54 as everybody gets going here. A little bit of crossover there, almost 3 wide coming into turn 1. We went 3 wide there. Noah Healy making it interesting there, and then they fall back just a little bit. And Healy, hammer on the brakes there, sir. There's a few times these drivers dive real deep, and we can see a few cars getting tangly, including Phil Fowler almost on his lid. I don't know if they're going to throw the caution. Looks like maybe only himself and another car. We're going to stay green. So there's Phil Fowler, multi-time champion at Eastbound, back at the pack now. Speaking of a guy who is at the back of the pack and looks like he's charging his way slowly but surely, is Ricky Miller in the 17 car, the 4-cylinder driver from the west side of Prince Edward Island. I'm sure he's looking forward to racing at Oyster Bed Speedway coming up this year. Did a lot of racing in New Brunswick last year because of the pandemic, and he is now going around the number 24 car of Nathaniel Wall, and he clears that car. And if you remember, 17 had the pole, spun the tires, and wrecked right away.
Still plenty of laps to turn off here as Nick Codner gets another huge gap here, 2.3 seconds on Robbie Cable. So a bit of separation from the drivers, but it seems that they're now getting set with this brand new race car. So I'll be excited to see what happens here in the final 120 laps as we're having a peak right now at the 9 of, I believe that's Tyler O'Rourke. Unbelievable. Making his debut mid-pack right now in position number 8.
That's the cool thing with iRacing. You just need the rig. You don't have to spend a ton of money on it, and you can hop on with other drivers in the region, the Atlantic Bubble, if you will. And pretty exciting that there's rumors the Atlantic Bubble could be returning real soon. So that will make it very, very interesting as we get ready for May coming up when most of the racetracks open in the Atlantic provinces. But here we're on iRacing at Martinsville, the DC Auto Double, thanks to Doug Critch. Oh, brother, there's a one car facing the wrong way, and now they're all piling into each other, including the 77 and the 24 car. It looked like Ricky Miller was able to avoid disaster. He's already had to use his hard reset, and a few other drivers, they may have to do that as well.
I know if I was coming into this, I would be saving that hard reset for a little bit later. We're going to bring in Paul Showtime Strickland Jr. and our Beer Bong sponsors here tonight. King Kong, Beer Bong, Kong Beer Bong. Paul?
Nailed it first try. Kong Beer Bong. It's a good thing that we're only showing the logo here and we're not Konging a beer bong every time we get a caution here because I don't think we'd make it to the dirt race, but looks like a little bit of trouble with the, looks like it starts with the 78 of Mitchell Hutchings, and you can see 77 of Bob Hutchings involved in it here. But we'll take a quick peek here and show it to you in real time. There you can see 78 on your screen up on the high side of the 41, and a couple of drivers going for the same piece of real estate. Gets the 78 spun around, gets a little bit, actually doesn't get a tap, but there you can see everybody else gets by, except the 24 kind of gets into the 77 as well as a couple of other cars. So kind of adding to the damage just a little bit. Man, 5-star bodies getting gonna need a lot more sheet metal after this, I think.
Phil Fowler at GMP Auto Pro is going to be busy with bodywork tomorrow, but just want to give another big shout out to DC Auto and to Doug Critch, his team. Colin, I believe he's spotting tonight all the way from Fort McMurray for Jason Goss, a Torbay native here in Newfoundland, Labrador. Big part of race, and even in the Maritimes, he's part of the Kyle and Chris Reed team for the Maritime Pro Stock team. Yep. And also is behind Dean Martin, who's won a bunch of big races at Eastbound International, and also the 54 of Nicholas Codner and the 41 of Jason Goss. So they got a pretty big stable of race cars under the DC Auto umbrella.
Can that Dean Martin guy sing like the Dean Martin?
No, sir. But I'm sure he's tuning in. Maybe we'll get him a phone in around so he can sing us a tune. Maybe a folk song.
Hey, maybe he can sing the Mummers song. I know that's usually a Christmas one.
Now looking at the lineup, a couple of drivers did not make it tonight because of the major download here tonight. Yeah. So a couple did not make it to the race. They registered, but unfortunately due to work commitments, getting home and that huge 1.5 gigabyte upload has caused a few drivers not to be able to participate here tonight. So hopefully we'll see Rod St. George in the coming races. That's one driver in particular that I'm sure is listening at home and a little bit rotted, but we'll see you soon, Rod, and good luck with everything. But we're going to get back to Green Flag Racing once again here. That beautiful brand new iRacing pace car, going to pace him around. Nick Codner, still your current leader. Had some big runs on these restarts, picking up half a track here on some of the rest of the field.
He seems to be the class of the field at this point. Mike, you set this race up. What about wear and tear on the tires and fuel mileage? Will these drivers have to make a pit stop, do you think?
Well, I think we're probably going to see a few more cautions here. So these guys are going to take advantage. Three sets of tires here tonight for these guys and one quick fix. So it'll be interesting. The strategy that we see here is the 03 kind of spins up there. It almost has the 51 of Matt James also into the back, but the 03 gets into the back of the 84 of Noah Healy. But we have more carnage as we see the 77. Bob Hutchins exchanging a lot of paint here tonight, unfortunately, and not all his fault, and getting cluttered up in some of this action. But that's going to bring in Paul Showtime Strickland Jr. and Kong Beerbong.
Big bada beer bong. A little bit.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. I'm going to beer bong another beer and look at another caution. Take a look at the replay here. And looks like, again, right off the restart, 77 down, or up on the high side. They see a 50. Check that. That's, what number is that? The Rowdy 41 machine. Whoa, big hit from the 77. Holy moly. That's a son that just ran over him like that. Holy smokes. Big hit there between the 77 and the 78. A lot more torn up race cars in the middle of the pack here. So, kind of a war of attrition here at Martinsville. We saw this happen a few nights ago, and hopefully we can get it cleaned up, get some green flag racing going on.
Paul?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to add fuel to the fire. When that wreck happened, Bob came across the in-game chat and asked, where are your brakes to? So I don't know if that was directed at the 78 or if it was directed in general, but that was his thought. Restarts have been changed to single file until these guys can figure out how to get some laps in.
Yeah, we've seen that quite often in a lot of these iRaces. And tonight in particular, Dylan, the update obviously is showing form. These guys are having a bit of an ordeal trying to adjust to the brand new race car just been released today, just a couple of hours ago. I didn't think there was going to be major changes in the Super Late, but they did a total remodel of this car. And some of the chat groups there a couple hours ago, I was taking a peek, but a lot of physics changes in these cars. So the drivers are adjusting as we go here. And for those tuning in, do apologize for a few cautions here, but I got a funny feeling we're going to get a good stretch here very shortly.
Well, it seems like Nick Codner's already got this whole new SLM car figured out pretty quick. Corey Reed also working his way through the field. That front end is pretty beat up, though. It almost looks like an open wheel modified. But, hey, you don't need all the sheet metal or all the stuff on the car to be fast. And in third, it's Noah Healy. And we've seen Noah get real high in the corners. They almost got shoved completely to the top of the wall before the caution came out. And, hey, Rubbin's racing, but, man, we've been almost body slamming at some points here in this race so far. Lap 43 of part 1 of the DC Auto Double, 150 laps here in Martinsville Speedway. I got to imagine, I don't want to say it, but is there a time limit if this takes a little while?
There is a time limit. 75 minutes are on the clock here tonight, but I got a funny feeling we should be able to get there. Yep.
I gave them 5 extra minutes. It's actually 80 minutes on the clock tonight.
80 minutes on the clock here tonight before we head over to Bristol for the dirt, for the introduction, brand new to iRacing, also real world. Been over four decades since NASCAR Cup Series has raced on dirt, so we're pretty excited for the next couple of weeks coming to see the actual thing transpire. But we're going back green flag as Nick Codner gets going. Single file restart here is Corey Reed, Noah Healy, your P3, Robbie Cable in P4, Matt James in the 5th spot, Phil Fowler back there in 6th, but we got a challenger, Nathaniel Walt to the outside. He's going to get by the 11 of Fowler.
Nice move there, and up in front you can see, we're getting a little tangly though. Jason Goss armed his way around the 17 of Ricky Miller. Those are a few drivers who were fast early on before a lot of the cautions came out. Ricky Miller started on the pole, and now he is trying to get his way back up to the pole position, but he's still got a good chunk of this race. About 100 laps left to go, and you can see there's the number 9 car of O'Rourke working his way on the bottom, goes around the number 5 car of Chantel Pottle. Looks like the single file restart is working so far. A little hesitant saying that, seeing these cars going 3 wide almost. And Phil Fowler again getting knocked around like a jug of washer fluid in the trunk with everything in there. And another hit for the number 11 right into the back of the number 5 car.
Yeah, that inside curb disrupted the 11 of Fowler as he dove into the corner trying to hit the pickup points. A lot of practice put into server, like I said earlier, but the physics of this car has really messed up the pickup points for these drivers, and It looks like they're starting to get pretty tight there now. I mean, even in real life at Martinsville, it's one of my favorite tracks of the Cup Series. It gets pretty hairy in turn one. But just like that, we have drawn out a caution here on lap number 49. That's going to bring in our friend Paul Showtime Strickland Jr. Take us back. It looks like we got the 11 of Phil Fowler coming around.
Yeah, we saw him parked on pit road there. Not sure if he is the caution, but we're going to back up the tapes and take a quick peek. There you can see he's running with the 73 just in front. 73 kind of dips down low here going into turn number 3, I believe that is. And there you can see a couple of cars going for the same piece of real estate. Fowler gets spun around, and he hits the tow button, calls for that tow truck. He's going to sit on pit road, and looks like he is done for the evening, climbing out of that super late model for the night. Going to call it done, leaving 15 drivers here on track. Looks like 10 drivers on the lead lap.
I hope he didn't break his virtual headset. Well, that's going to be 51 laps completed. We are 1/3 of the way. Majority of it under caution, Dylan, but we had a bit of a stretch there. But we are down to 15 cars. Mitchell Hutchins down 5 laps. Troy Burke down 3 laps. Bob Hutchins down 2. Brandon Hiscock down 1. And I believe Tyler O'Rourke will get the wave around. You'll see the 9 there. Tyler O'Rourke now coming around. He will be back on the lead lap as Chantel Pottle checks in with her crew on pit road.
Maybe having to utilize that quick fix. Again, one driver, one quick fix. And if you use it early on, well, that's pretty much all she wrote then. If you have to go back to pit road a few more times, it will take the regular amount of time to do the repairs in your car. And the only car that looks like it's got no damage on it is that 54 of Nick Codner, leader of this race, leading a majority. I don't know if technically Ricky Miller led a lap because he spun the tires as soon as we started off this 150-lap race brought to you by DC Auto. Thanks again, Doug Critch. Doubling up tonight with the dirt race coming up after this at the Bristol Dirt Track. First time on iRacing, available a few hours ago. I'm sure a few of the competitors are tweaking on their setups and trying to figure out how will the NASCAR trucks work on that track. See, the trucks have already had experience on the dirt at Eldora, but Bristol, Eldora, the banking, completely different.
Yeah, I got to check into some live racing there earlier on. Brett Suggs was actually running a race earlier. I got to have a peek in, but unbelievable, and it's going to be exciting tonight. I got a funny feeling there's going to be 50 or 60 cars going to grow a set here tonight and take the challenge.
We'll have some heat races. I'm sure we'll have a hooligan race sprinkled in there, and we'll have some fun on the dirt coming up right after the conclusion of this 150-lap race in Martinsville Speedway. Young Nick Codner in the 54 in front of the number 27 car, Corey Reed. Noah Healy, another young gun in the 84 car. Robbie Cable in the 03. Matt James in the 51. Rounding up the top 5. And Jason Goss and Ricky Miller, 6th and 7th. I'm keeping my eyes on those guys right there. Codner takes the high line, cuts it low. Green flag is back in the air in Martinsville, and he gets a giant lead off that restart in front of the 27.
Yeah, the 27 and the 84. The 84 is going to take advantage to the bottom as the 27 washes up. Corey Reed is going to forgive that P2 over to Noah Healy, but here comes Corey Reed back on the hammer again, but kind of driving in a little bit too deep into the corner here, and it's got to hang up there, but Noah Healy seems to have the quick way around the corners here as he separates now just by a little bit, but Codner taking off into another planet right now with 1.6 seconds gap over Noah Healy as he's had some pretty good jumps here on the restarts. Looking in right now, Jason Goss, man on the move. He's going to pick up a spot on the 51 of Matt James as he comes up from all the way from the back, working his way to the front, now to the inside of the 03 of Robbie Cable. Jason Goss, the man on the move.
Ricky Miller not far behind. He is stuck behind the 51, and the 03 car. battle for second is really starting to heat up. Noah Healy's got a lot of pressure now from the 27 car, and soon enough it will be a three-way dance, maybe a fatal four-way, as Jason Goss has caught up to second and third. The 27 makes the pass. Reed takes second, but for how long? Noah Healy drops back to third, but for how long? Because now he's got Jason Goss all over the back. Goss lets off just a little bit. He's going to hammer the gas coming out of the turns, wants to make sure he doesn't spin the tires. He seems to have complete control of that number 41 machine. Healy throws a little bit of a block to try and prevent the momentum of the 41 car. Miller gets under the 51. Now he's going to try and follow the footsteps of the 41. Going into turn one. Ooh, Miller hammers on the brakes, trying to avoid the 51. He had some heartbreak earlier in this race, but seems to figure out that number 17 car and the new super late model here at Martinsville.
Well, tires are starting to play a factor here already. Jason Goss down pit road 3 times from those earlier cautions. He's only got 23 laps on those 4 beautiful Goodyears. And looking at now picking up that spot for Noah Healy, but the rest of the field, your top 8 have 61 laps on those original tires. And Goss really making it work with those 4 Goodyears.
And they will make a huge difference. You know this, watching NASCAR or even at Eastbound, any track, fresh tires will make a world of difference, especially if you're slipping and sliding, maybe flat spotting the tires, if you're really hammering on the brakes. And there's the pass for second. Goss underneath the 27 car of Reed. 5, count them, 6 cars now in a big battle for second. Miller trying to get underneath the 51 car. They're all single file. Meanwhile, Nick Conder has almost a 5-second lead in front of Jason Goss. But our eye right now is on the big battle for second, as it's a freight train of cars going down the front stretch.
Well, Codner is still throwing down the quickest laps here with a 20.22 on the last couple here. Jason Goss throwing down 20.24s, but that gap, almost 5 seconds. Goss will have a hard battle to bridge that gap on his teammate Nick Codner, both natives of Torbay and part of the TC Auto team. But those tires, 64 laps, 65 laps on our top 8 is definitely a major factor here. But one driver in particular, Chantel Pottle, our lone lady here tonight from Conception Bay North, the 5 machine, has been down pit road 12 times, and she faces the P11 right now. So she's been working on some damage. Maybe she did not use the quick repair and saving it for a little bit later.
Oh.
But as we take a peek at the 5 right now, she almost comes out of shape there as they head down the stretch and into the corner. But that's going to bring out a caution here on lap number 66. We didn't see it on the screen, but that's going to bring in our good friend Paul Showtime Strickland Jr.
Wait. I heard a knock before that.
Go to Paul first.
I believe it was the 84. So we'll have a peek as Paul takes us back.
Oh.
Yeah, a little bit of calamity happening here between the 84, the 51. A couple of other drivers involved here, and give it to you here with the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. See, the 84 shoots up the track just a little bit, and they kind of collide into each other, and the 17 just wrong place, wrong time. Not a big hit. There's a lot of damage in the front of that 17 car, though, from earlier wrecks, as well as the 51 and the 84. So a couple of drivers going for the same piece of real estate, and been through it before. Physics, you can't have 2 cars in the same spot at the same time.
Was that Isaac Newton that came up with that?
I think it was Dale Earnhardt that came up with that.
Well, Matt James, Noah Healy, Chantel Pottle now down 13 times here tonight. Still lots of time here. We are getting close to the halfway mark. 7 laps to the halfway point. Cross flags now shortly as we count down the laps under caution on lap number 68. As we see a couple more now heading down the road. Brandon Hiscock, Bob Hutchins decides to check in with their crew.
Hey, Dylan.
I would. Yes, sir.
The question that was asked, I think, in chat and asked in the race server was answered with that caution. We had the question in the session whether there is a competition caution at all tonight. The answer is we've had 15 already. So there will be no competition yellow. We've been trying to get some green flag laps in here because, boys, we're at 69 laps and 37 minutes. So if you do the math, we're right at 80 minutes. So we got to try to get a couple of green flag laps, and we're going to stay single file in this restart to see if we can't get some laps in to try to get a little bit closer to 150 as opposed to 130 something.
Yeah, busy night here tonight. It'll be interesting to see if we can have limited cautions in the dirt, but I got a funny feeling that's going to be a tornado, Dylan.
Yeah, it's almost like the referee saying, all right, settle down here. I've heard that once or twice in my hockey games back in the day, but they're going to have to because we're going to run out of time, unfortunately, for this race. But I know a few of these drivers are most likely going to be racing on the dirt here shortly. You don't want to see a race end based on a time limit, but hey, those be the rules, and Vidane TV's got things on the go ski, so we got to follow the TV schedule. So we'll hope to have some solid green flag racing. If everyone could just race like Nick Codner, we would be finishing this a little earlier. But now Jason Goss will be starting right behind the number 54. So this could be a little interesting for this restart.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Jason Goss has the cleanest tires of the top 6 right now. 34 laps on those Goodyears, 71. Codner, Reed, Miller, Cable, and Nathaniel Wall still not reporting to pit road throughout this whole race, but Codner gets away quite quick here and builds a bit of a bridge, but Jason Goss trying to get back on the hammer. But look at this, the 17 of Ricky Miller enters the picture and goes battling with the 27 of Corey Reed.
Yeah, Ricky was tangled up in the wreck with the 84 car of Noah Healy, but he did keep his position as he was not one of the cars that was technically involved with the no-fault cautions. Ricky Miller, one of the PEI drivers in this field, mixed with Newfoundlanders, and he is right behind Reed. Jason Goss in the 41, maybe a quarter straight away behind your leader, Nick Codner, Mr. Domination so far. Coming up to the halfway point, lap 75 will be halfway here for this 150-lap race at Martinsville Speedway. Miller, you can see the brake rotors are glowing on that 17. Gives a little tap to the 27 to shove him up the track. Will he be able to get his nose on the bottom? Miller dives deep. Oh, contact! He hits the 27, but I think the 27 tried coming down on the 17. It just didn't work out. Again, 2 cars can't be in the same place.
Well, we'll have a quicker peek here. Paul Showtime Strickland Jr., Mr. Popularity here tonight. Have a peek at this one, Paul.
Man, there better be a pizza at the end of all these replays. I'm telling you. Here you can see the battle. We saw live, the 17 and the 27. Going into the turn here, you can see 17 hits the rumble strip down on the bottom. Kind of comes up a little bit as the 27 came down. So same deal that we've seen a lot throughout the evening here. Drivers just trying to get used to these cars, trying to get used to these setups, and trying to get used to not being in the same spot at the same time. Tim's at the door.
Just want to follow the other race as well that we have tonight, and we're going to follow incident points, Paul. Would you believe that we have 2 drivers with 0 incident points? They haven't touched anything tonight.
The pace car and Nick
drivers
Codner.
are that?
No, the pace car hasn't either. Nick Codner is one of them. And get your camera on the 03. Robbie Cable, give him some TV time. He hasn't touched a darn thing tonight. He is currently the only other driver with 0 incident points. Everybody else has double-digit incident points tonight.
Well, Robbie Cable, part of the hobby stock, the Cableizer. Strong runner in our Division II NASCAR, so big night for him here tonight because he's in that P3. He will start not to the inside behind Connor. We're going to stay single filed as we see Corey Reed, Dave Horton coming down pit road. They are going to rejoin the field, and still quite a bit of cars that still have not pit. We have 5 vehicles now. Troy Burke hasn't been down. Ricky Miller, Nathaniel Wall, and as well Nick Codner.
Are you telling me that Robbie Cable's nickname at the track is not the Cable Man?
It's the Cableizer.
Okay. Hey, that's a cool nickname too, though. I like that.
But we can call him the Cable Man.
You have to call him the Cable Man. When you guys get what am I trying to say here? When you get started for your 2021 season, see, all the cautions are messing with my head right now. We've had a caution-littered race, but so far it has been the Nick Codner show in front. Jason Goss in the 41. those are two drivers, again, that have not made pit stops. I believe you said the 41 has not made a pit stop, and they'll have to eventually stop to get some tires, but with these cautions, it'll give them a little bit of time to do that without having to sacrifice some green flag lap time and potentially going a lap down, as we've got a handful of drivers already a few laps down because of all the wrecks we've had so far, and we will most likely restart here on lap 79, it looks like.
Hey, Dylan?
Yes, sir.
I know why the Mustang is not on the racetrack for the pace car tonight. It is because they locked the keys in the Mustang, so they must have had Mike James on the case. But Greg and Rob Squires want to say hello to them, R&D Towing. I'm sure they can get the keys out of that Mustang for them on the infield. But the sedan's coming to pit road. We're going to go back racing.
Awesome. Thank you, Tim. And yeah, that would suck, man. Hope that doesn't happen to me
I don't
more.
know why he's got to drop the inside jokes here tonight, but okay. Roll on. Green flag as Cotter gets it going here once again. Builds a huge bridge on his partner in crime, Jason Goss. Robbie Cable, your P3. Tyler O'Rourke making his debut. Finds himself in P4. What a night the 9 of Tyler O'Rourke has had here tonight. And it'll be interesting, Dylan, how many of these cars still have the trick in the back pocket? Who still has the quick fix?
Well, we just learned that Ricky Miller
Paul can assist with that.
Ricky Miller still has it. We already heard that he has not made a trip down to pit road, so even though he's got a lot of damage, I think I may have misspoke saying he did use it earlier. Ricky Miller has not, and he's one of those drivers that has been pretty fast, but has not used that quick fix yet. You can see the 0-1 of Troy Burke. He's mowing the lawn in the corner there. He got a little knock around in the middle of 3 and 4, but no caution on the track. You can see the 24 trying to go underneath Chantel Pottle. 2 wide racing on the backstretch. Wu will have the advantage. It looks like, that cone's dead. The cone is dead. And the 24 cut across the grass and cut across the track. 24 car, Nathaniel Wall, they have their hands full in that William Byron paint scheme. Here comes Bob Hutchings in the 77 car, making this a 3-way dance for that position. And the 73 car, Dave Horton, right in front of the 24 car. In front, it's Nick Codner, Jason Goss, and Robbie Cable, 1, 2, 3.
Mitchell Hutchings now trying to come back here from the back of the pack, but we're having a peek at Bob Hutchings in the 77 come to the bottom here. The 24 hitting that cone to the bottom there really disrupt the car. He was having a great run and almost picked up a couple of spots there. But Chantel Pottle is on a mission right now as she finds herself in P6 13 times down pit road. Just using the cautions to her advantage and quickly repairing quick things and not staying down there and staying on the lead lap here tonight. What a job this lady has done here tonight from Conception Bay North. Man, I would love to actually see her race at Eastbound. She is not actually officially in a race car just yet, but she spends a lot of time in the iRacing servers down in the United States and quite a few different leagues. She even has 2 of her own throughout the week. So big props to Chantel Pottle in the 5 machine, doing a wonderful job here tonight and find herself mostly at a little bit better than the halfway point.
Jason Goss, Mike, has set a few fastest laps compared to the leader, Nick Codner. He's about a second behind, so he's not exactly losing the 54. In fact, he's starting to gain on him now. He has closed in now with 9/10 of a second. This is great. This is awesome to see. We're going to have some close racing up front. Jason Goss in the 41 car. He is a man on the mission, catching up to your leader, Nick Codner. I'm wondering now if Nick's tires are really starting to wear. Those are 2 drivers who I believe have not made a trip to pit road, and maybe the 41 was conserving them a bit earlier with the 54 really hammering the gas to try and get away from the rest of the field.
The 41 has visited 3 times down pit road, 52 laps on those Goodyears, but Nick Codner and I believe Nathaniel Wall and Ricky Miller are currently the only 3 not down pit road, as well as Robbie Cable. 4 drivers right now not reporting to pit road, trying to go the distance on fuel and tires. But I don't think with all these cautions, unless they're turning on and off those cars, I'm just wondering if the fuel window will be a factor for the 54. Will he eventually have to forgive the lead and head down pit road?
Well, with a few of these iRacing events, Mike, we have seen a few drivers really stretch the fuel, and somehow they were able to win the race with no pit stops. This could be the case with Codner, but it's so hard to tell. And even just moving around the car a certain way with the fuel pickup, if you go a little too much to the right or the left, it could completely throw off your balance, and it could maybe make your car sputter a bit. And with the fuel in your car, too, you don't want to have too much in it because it'll weigh it down early on. But then, if you have it lighter at the beginning, that means there's less fuel to drive with, which means you're going to have to make a pit stop, and it could mess up with your strategy. But catching up to the leader is Jason Goss. He is there. He is in Nick Codner's area code. And for the first time, it looks like the leaders will be catching up to lap traffic.
Yeah, those 5 100ths of a second has been basically the difference between the 54 and the 41, and I believe it's all tires right now that's the big difference. 5 100ths a second after 10 or 12 laps all of a sudden becomes 5/10 of a second, and that bridge really has closed up as the 41 has now gotten to the back bumper of the 54. Now, these guys are teammates. I don't think you'll see a big challenge from the 41. As they are going to try to get 1-2 here tonight in the DC Auto 150. A big shout out to their team owners here tonight. Doug Critch calling all the way from Fort McMurray. I believe he's probably spotting for one of these guys here tonight. So these guys are having a great time here and really showing good form here for the top 2.
Looks like the 41's maybe conserving those tires and not really pushing the envelope with Nick Codner, but he caught up to him pretty quick in about 10 laps. He gained about a full second on the leader. So the fastest car on the track currently is Jason Goss. O'Rourke is in the 9 car, and they're in 3rd, 7 seconds behind to only a 2-horse race up in front. But there's the battle for 3rd. You can see we've heard from you, Mike, I guess, a first-time iRacer of Tyler O'Rourke in front of Matt James. And quite impressive that in his first run, he's having a podium run so far with about 50 laps to go, 2/3 of the way through. It's 8:23 now, so if they keep at it with green flag racing, it looks like we should get all the 150 laps, but that's a giant if. We don't have more cautions, and this is the longest green flag stretch we have had. Thank you all so much for watching on Eastbound's Facebook or Verdane TV or Tim's Corner's Facebook. Having some fun in Martinsville, double dipping tonight. Getting ready for the first dirt race on Bristol with iRacing with TCM coming up here shortly. That's going to be a hootenanny. And up in front, it could be a hootenanny real soon with the 41 still on the back of the 54. 50 laps to go. I'm wondering how the tires are on that 54. Are we seeing the cords on those rubbers yet?
Yeah, 100 laps on those tires, and I really think the fuel may be a factor here for the 54. But I've seen such as Mike Alexander and some other big drivers in the East Coast really try to conserve their fuel by turning on and off those cars during caution. So if Cotter's been smart, he's been conserving all night. He hasn't had a lot of pressure from a lot of drivers. He had a lot of clean air. This is really his first challenge right now as he comes up on lap traffic, gets around the 24 of Nathaniel Wall. He is the last lead lap now. Nathaniel will go down one here. 9 cars right now in the lead lap as Codner and Goss start picking off guys and putting them down a lap. One of these guys will get the lucky dog if a caution does come out. But 48 to go here, 2/3 completed. It's all Nick Codner and the DC Auto team here tonight. But really super impressed with Tyler O'Rourke at the 9. Spends a lot of time in the IHRA series at Eastbound International Dragway. If it's got a motor and it's got tires, this guy is all about it, and big part of the car scene here in Newfoundland and Labrador. So really impressed me here tonight. Unbelievable to see the 9 Tyler O'Rourke on a podium run here.
iRacing's the great unifier, bringing circle track racers and drag racers here on the service. I wonder, there's got to be drag racing on iRacing, right? Like that's got to be a thing. Am I right or wrong?
No, and I was kind of intrigued. There's just so much different variations in the iRacing.
Wait.
Terry's banging on the door again.
You can do drag racing as long as you set it up yourself in a hosted session. Talk to Tommy Mason from Low Budget TV. They did during the pandemic, they did a deal at Irwin or Sears Point or Infineon Raceway or whatever it's called now, Sonoma Raceway, that did have a drag racing series on iRacing. So it can be done. You just have to be creative.
Okay.
Well, there we go. Next Eastbound eSports, we're going to the quarter mile. Tim, get your creative hat on. 107. He's like, yeah. Let's get going here. 43 to go here, Dylan. These guys are going to disappear. They've now gotten adjusted to that super late model. Those tuning in that have been hanging on here tonight, we were peppered with cautions throughout the first third of this race, but no foul to these guys. They are putting on a show here tonight with what they've been given. Only a couple of hours in the brand new simulator for the super late model. And I didn't think it was going to be quite that big of a difference, but leading into it there today, a lot of chatter about the physics difference. And so these guys, props to these guys for putting on a show and really tuning in over the first 50 laps.
I'm curious, Mikey, if Nick Codner was conserving a little bit, because he is starting to get away from the 41 car. And we know that Jason's got fresher tires on that 41 machine. 40 laps to go. Noah Healy in front of the 41 car. Jason's going to try and make quick work of the 84 car, and he does. The 84 takes the high line and moves out of the way. Coming up to less than 40 to go. We're on a long green flag stretch. Make or break it time, I suppose, with the 54 car not making any pit stops. He may not need it. He may have been in fuel conserving mode there because he is starting to pull away from the 41.
Yeah, just a little chat about the 84 Noah Healy. Eastbound, being a gentleman there, letting the leaders come through and allowing the 41 and 54 to come by nice and clean. That's going to put him down a lap. Noah Healy now in P9, ninth position. 8 cars still currently on the lead lap. Next one for will be Ricky Miller, will be the target for the 54 of Codner. But some of these guys, like we've talked about earlier, you got hobby stock guys in there, you got late model drivers, you got US legend guys, so many different variation of driver skill, but it's always great to see these Bando drivers as we take a peek at the 17 of Ricky Miller getting that pressure for the 54 and almost wobbled up there and kind of lost control, but he's going to let the leaders come through here as he goes to the top side. And 54 Codner Goss keep it clean there to the bottom, gets around the 17. Next target for the boys is going to be Robbie Cable, the 03 now. Had a strong run earlier, but 113 laps. He is one of those drivers that has not reported the pit road, and those Goodyears are being a factor for the 03 as he slips back. And look at Chantel Pottle now facing P6 still. Tyler Rourke now moving back to P4. Matt James now taking up that podium. Does get around the 9. We haven't had a peek at them as we've been chasing the leaders, but James here having a fabulous time. That was one of the pit crews for Robbie Cable in the 03. So teammates here in the server here tonight, 51. Matt James from Conception Bay South. And man, would I ever love to see him in a race car as well.
Hey, Mike?
Yep.
Want to add to the point that you made on the 84 of Noah Healy. With this iRacing simulation, you can't put your finger out the window or your hand out the window to signify for that driver to go to the inside. Noah was able to key up and tell those leaders to go to the inside, and kind of worked with them to go to the inside and get around them. So heads up move by Noah Healy. Gentlemen, wise beyond some of the other drivers that are in here, and we have a moment on the front straightaway. That was close.
Very close as Ricky Miller, the 17, dukes it out, and Robbie Cable blipping off the screen there just for a bit there, but he's going to go to the top. The 17 of Ricky Miller is going to get around. Noah Healy now coming up now on the 03. Those tires, like we talked about, is starting to be a huge factor now with 120 laps on our leader, Nick Codner, as well as Robbie Cable looking in on pit road activity. Right now we have Ricky Miller, Robbie Cable, and Nick Codner, as well as Nathaniel Waltz, still not reporting to pit road. 4 cars here tonight trying to go to the distance, Dylan, and Man, it would be a shame if they run out of fuel.
Ooh, and these tires have got to be screaming. They're slipping and sliding all over. So we're watching that battle a little further. Ricky Miller has broken through. I was going to mention a handful of laps before. I don't know what happened with Ricky Miller, but he was sideways in front of Nick Codner, and Nick had to hammer the brakes, and that helped the 41 catch up to Nick, and the 41 is back in black, right behind the black and white car, the 54. Jason Goss is coming at crunch time here with less than 30 laps to go in Martinsville for the DC Auto 150. We've got a few more slower cars coming up in front of the leaders with the 41 back in Codner territory again.
Yeah, these guys are teammates, but, just like the Gibbs team guys, Truex this past Sunday in Las Vegas kind of got into it with the 11. And so, when it comes to racing, teammates are teammates, but when it comes down to that final lap, I got a funny feeling the 41 will give a run to the 54 and try to take the win here tonight. But playing nice right now as they still continue on lap traffic. They're going to come up right now on Dave Horton in the 73 machine as he will let them go. Here's the 54 and 41 drop to the bottom, and Horton will go all the way to the top to let the leaders go. Almost to the 125 lap mark, 25 to go here in just a moment, Dylan. So great to see some strong green flag laps from our competitors here. But quite interesting. We did invite a few maritime drivers in there. It so happened that they all came from PEI. So a little bit of an Islander duo here tonight, Newfoundland versus Prince Edward Island. But always great to see some of these drivers from PEI peppered into our series.
Just need a few capers mixed in here, too, and it'll be the Islander trifecta. 25 laps to go in the DC Auto 150. Now, here's the thing to keep in your back of your mind, folks, and Mike and any of these drivers. If there is a caution anytime soon, if you have not used that full reset and your car's a little banged up and you're on the lead lap, this would be a prime time to use it. But we're not there yet, but we got Chantel Pottle grinding on the wall. Sparks are flying from the 5 car in front of Codner, and that's the second or third time Codner's had to tap the brakes a little bit to avoid someone else getting a little loose or maybe kissing the wall a little bit. 41 goes around the number 5 car. Now Bob Hutchings in front of the number 54. Mr. Domination, Nick Codner, will drop low. I imagine a few of these drivers are keying up each other saying, hey, I'm going to go high, go low under me. And nice to see the respect game coming in full swing here in the latter half of the DC Auto 150 at Martinsville.
100%, and like Tim said, you can't put the finger out the window. So these guys are all in a driver chat. Some of them are actually in their own Discord. I can rest assured, I'm pretty positive the 41 and the 54, two teammates here tonight, are probably talking to each other. And one of the great things about iRacing, some of these teams actually have a crew chief to deal with pit road activity, and they also have spotters here. But there are also one-man soldiers out there that actually go the full distance by themselves. So sometimes it's always funny to see, final thoughts of a race. You're talking to your winner and you ask about your strategy on pit road, and sometimes they're doing it all themselves. So. But some big teams here in the iRacing serving TCM as we take a peek here at the 24. Nathaniel Wall getting pretty close to the 41 of Goss, but he'll let it go as he kind of tags the wall there. Nathaniel Wall, that's going to be Corey Reed get around now, and Bob Hutchings as they continue to move up through the field here, fighting for position right now.
18 laps to go, and a few laps ago we saw Jason Goss somewhat overdrive the corner, and that really hurt his momentum. He is drifting away from Nick Codner in the 54 car. So if the 41 is praying for a caution, he's got to pray to Mother Mary because he's drifting far, far away from your leader. Matt Janes in the number 51, he is 14 seconds behind Nick Codner, and soon enough, Nick may be lapping the entire field except for second position. Nick has been Mr. Conservative and Mr. Dominant so far. Tires got to be hurting on that 54. Fuel's got to be cutting it close too, but he's done a very good job seeming to really take it easy on the front of hammering the gas and really trying to pull away from the number 41. but Nick Codner has about a 2-second lead in front of second place.
Hey, boys.
Yep.
The leader just came across the voice chat and said it'd be sure nice to have a caution right about now. The 84 is on pit road. I believe the 84 may be out of fuel.
Unbelievable. So we are seeing some situations here with fuel as Noah Healy,
pit road, I believe.
Was down pit road once already. So Goss now pit road. So we're seeing some green flag pit road activity, but Codner staying out right now and crossing his fingers as Goss now will take full advantage here now and try to get a little splash of fuel and some tires as hopefully he can stay on that lap.
Well, I think maybe Nick's strategy is to try and lap the field where now he does pass the number 84 and the 41 of Goss, so he can get a lap or two and then make that pit stop if he has to. He'll have that kind of as a cushion. Now Jason Goss is down a lap, so once the scoring ticks off there, so now we got to adjust it. So only Matt Janes is the one of the last lead lap cars along with O'Rourke in the number 9 car. So, yeah, a majority of the field is a lap down, which is going to play in Nick Codner's favor. But 12 laps to go. We've already seen a few cars have to pull down to pit road. I don't know how Nick is doing it at this point, but closing in crunch time. Wouldn't it be a heartbreak to try and get this done, but then you run out of gas?
Well, 20 laps to go. Codner's gone full distance right now, 138 laps, 139. But Matt James is in position to take full advantage. Only 70 laps since he's been down pit road, so he should be good on fuel and tires. This could be magic for the 51 of Matt James. Tyler Rourke down pit road 96 laps ago, so he could possibly go the distance as we get down to the final 10 laps. And it looks like the 54 is going to go down, but he's
out of gas.
Oh no, man!
I saw it in the middle of turn 3 and 4.
He is trying to get to pit road. He is just shoveling that gas around there as he comes around, trying to make it back to pit road. Unbelievable upset for the 54. We talked about it all night, but this is going to be a heartbreak.
Here
for the
comes
young
the 51.
Man,
Matt James takes the lead.
9 to go here as he tries to get down pit road. He will get there, but boy, would a caution have been a dream right now as Nick Codner, Robbie Cable, Nathaniel Wall, all three of those drivers trying to go the distance, just did not have enough to get to the whole distance. Matt James, Tyler Rourke, Chantel Bottle, your top 3 here tonight. What a shake-up, Dylan. Man, I did not see this coming. With 8 to go here, who knows? This could be your finishing order. But boy, those guys are really hoping for a caution right now.
It's not over until the fat lady sings the hot dog stand, and there's the caution. There you go. The fat lady is singing because the 03 of Robbie Cable has spun out. So this will really mix things up. I'm not sure if Codner's a lap down. We're going to find out here once we get this all tinkered out here, but what a crazy past 10 laps with the leader running out of gas, and we're going to see what happened with the 03, maybe a little incident by himself, but looks like it could be a green-white checker.
Oh, baby. And it looks like with the, first time down pit road all evening, got everything set up and just trying to re-enter here. We'll see. Maybe Paul, Showtime Strickland. We haven't talked to him in a while. Paul, you there?
Yeah, we can see the 03 of Robbie Cable coming off of pit road and just brand new tires. He mashes the gas as he comes around the first corner there, and it looks like the caution's actually in the 84 there. So we'll back that up. And as he was coming to caution here, getting that thing wound up is when the 03 went around. But we'll back this up again.
Paul,
yes.
Caution is the 03. He was in a bad spot backing up into traffic.
Gotcha. Well, we'll take a look at the 84. And there you can see hits the rumble strip, spins him around. And now we'll take a look at the 03. The 03, this is where we spin him around. And yes, that is a horrible spot to back into traffic. So that's and there you can see Chantel Paddle running in the third position, coming up and T-boning the 03 as he was trying to get into the racing groove. Tough break there. But, man, that's going to shake things up. We've only got a handful of cars on the lead lap, so strategy definitely going to be playing to the last 5 laps here for sure.
Codner is actually out of the server right now, so not sure if he did not make it back in time to if he ran out of fuel before he got to his pit stall. But Codner is not going to run here to the finish. Jason Goss down a couple of laps as well, heading down pit road. Right now, it's Chantel Paddle, Corey Reed, Dave Horton, Tyler O'Rourke, and Matt James on your lead lap. With a couple cautions here, we may see a green wave checkered. I wonder if Tim's going to stack them up too wide here on this restart. Tim,
oh boy.
They were given their double file restarts back on lap 100, so they are going to go double file here.
Double file? Maybe it's the beer talking here tonight, but I can't remember that. But it's been a wild night, Dylan. We've called quite a few races here in the TCM special events and iRacing. Man, what a shakeup here tonight. This is one for the books.
Yeah, I noticed that Nick really slowed down in turn 3 and 4 on that lap where he did run out of gasoline, and just a heartbreak. He maybe thought he had enough. He was about 9-10 laps short. He maybe should have peeled down to pit road after he lapped the 41 car, but hey, that's all hindsight. And what do I know? I'm an announcer here in the virtual announcer booth, but we're going to have a little
derby driver.
That's true, but I didn't run out of gas. I overheated on the front stretch of Speedway Miramichi, but we are going to have a green-white checker to round out the DC Auto 150. Matt James handed the lead after our leader for almost the entire show. Nick Codner ran out of gas. Who's going to take it home tonight? Let's see what happens. Green flag is out, and James gets a fantastic restart. And could the rookie, maybe, Tyler O'Rourke, steal the show as the 51 washes up the track, Mikey?
And the 73 to the back bumper of Tyler almost gave him a shove, but Matt James comes fighting back as they come around. White Silk is going to be in the air, but they are wrecking behind. That is going to draw out a caution. The producers are going to actually reset this, but we were almost to the White Silk. Matt James must have been on the edge of his seat, sweating bullets and saying, oh, baby, I'm going to take one here tonight, but caution is going to be drawn out right before that White Silk. Paul?
Yeah, another Kong Beer Bong instant replay. Going to focus in on the number 17 of Ricky Miller. Gets all sorts of out of shape. Gets a little bit of help there from the 78. Boots him on around. Gets another helping shot there from the 84. Does a great job, though. Grabs a gear, gets on going, and no harm, no foul. But good news there is, he's 2 laps down, so he's going to have to restart towards the back here. But one more green-white checkered. We're not done yet.
Paul, just a side note on that one. The 17 and the 78 are actually winning something tonight. They are winning the most incident points. They have currently racked up 48 incident points tonight, and that is the Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief report from the pits. Blue Emu, something about you can rub it on and it don't stink. Back up to you in the booth.
10-4.
Matt James was just feet from collecting that White Silk here tonight. His first major win. Man, what a champagne going for the 51 team here tonight. But man, Tyler O'Rourke making his debut here tonight. From the Eastbound International Dragway all the way into the iRacing server, making his debut. Unbelievable. He's going to get that one more opportunity onto the outside. Looked really great coming into the corners, as we did see Matt James wash up just a little bit. And taking a peek here, 109 laps on those good years for Tyler O'Rourke, 83 laps for Matt James. Horton, who's going to be on the inside of row number 2, has got 75 laps. But look at this. The lone lady here tonight from Conception Bay North, Chantel Pottle, has got fresh rubber and only six laps for Chantel Pottle. So she's going to be on the outside of row number 2. And then looking back just a little bit deeper, Corey Reed is our final car on the lead lap. The 27 was down pit road 75 laps ago. But Chantel Pottle may throw a wrench into this one. as this gets exciting here at the Eastbound Esports. Big shout out to DC Auto Team for presenting the 150 here at Martinsville. Dylan, definitely one for the books here tonight.
Oh, yeah, it's been wild and wacky, and the wild and wackiness continues with the dirt race coming
Wacky
up.
Tuesday.
That's right, Toonie Tuesday, Wacky Tuesday, but the wild and wackiness continues with the dirt race at Bristol coming up in about 15-20 minutes. So once we finish this, we're going to take a little pause for the cause, a bathroom break to refill our beers and our water jugs and whatever. But hey, we got to finish off this race. It's another green-white checkered. You mentioned it with the 51 if he was sweating bullets. I would be sweating kiddie pools of sweat if I was the 51 car, because he's got a bunch of hungry drivers right behind him, including the rookie O'Rourke and Chantel Pottle in fourth, along with Horton right behind him. Here we go. Green-white checkered attempt number 2 at Martinsville. Will the 51 get a good start? Dynamite start for the 51, but how will turn 1 go? We noticed the 51 washing up the track a couple of times. Oh, O'Rourke gets contact. Hit by the 73 car of Horton, and that means another caution here at Martinsville.
Yeah, it seemed like Tyler O'Rourke was a little bit delayed on that restart. You know, it's very difficult, like we talked about, being on that outside, not in the real race car, trying to judge when it's going to restart. But we have some incidents here with Horton and O'Rourke, but that will bring in showtime. Paul Strickland Jr., hopefully it's the last time we talk to you.
Nice to see you too, bud.
Hi.
Take a look at the Gong Beer Bong instant replay, and you can see the contact between the second and third place drivers. The 9 car just gets around, blocks the racing groove, blocks the high side, low side's blocked. Lots of bumper car action here. One thing to take away, Chantel Pottle squeaks by on the outside. She's going to restart outside the front row here for this, hopefully, this final restart.
Dude, and Chantel Pottle, only 6 laps. Still plenty of good cheer on that 5 machine of Chantel Pottle. If she times this properly, and I hope she's been taking her notes as Matt Janes has had a couple of restarts here. Man, could she be the big victor here tonight for the DC Auto 150? It's been a shakeup. You know, it was a rough start, but it's been a wild last 75 laps as they got this under control. Brand new super late model update here today, and these drivers have done a fab job in the second half of this DC Auto 150. So plenty of racing here tonight, folks. If you're tuning in, Bristol Raceway Motor Speedway is going to be up in just a moment after this one. We will go back to back. You don't have to leave the stream. It'll be currently right on this stream. We'll have a quick break, some videos that Paul will throw up there. Grab yourself a pee break and a beer and head on back and watch some Bristol Motor Speedway dirt action. One of the first series, I would say, I guess everybody across North America is probably running dirt here tonight, Dylan.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Just a couple of notes. I think there's 16 or 17 currently practicing in the Bristol Dirt server, so we'll have a couple of these guys, I'm sure, hop over as well. So the field size is 24. So if you're out there watching us and want to get involved in some of the Bristol Dirt action, you've got about 12 minutes or so to hop in the server and get dirty with us in just a few moments' time. Now, the other thing you did mention, we're 5 minutes away from the time running out in this one. Jason Goss just got the free pass. He is now 1 lap down. The problem is that if we get another caution, chances are we're only going to get a 1 lap dash. So, and he's also fighting Dave Horton for that free pass now. So there's a race within a race, but we're running out of time. So let's put it that way as we get ready to go back to green.
I can only imagine the chatter going on in the driver that Tim's listening as we see the free pass here. As we get set to go green, white, checkered. Boy, yeah, can this be Chantel Pottle's night? You know, we've seen her in the Oxford Series, the Nashville Series. She's had some strong moments in some of those LCQs, and man, it would be so awesome. It is International Women's Week. Can Chantel Pottle represent the ladies here tonight and take a win for the home team? So we're going to get set here as Matt Janes gets it going here. And look at that. Chantel Pottle almost crosses over, and she is going to get into the 51, the 27's into it, the 84's into the wall. And that is going to be caution, which is going to bring Jason Goss back on the lead lap here. It's going to be a 1 lap dash here, but we'll take a peek in from Paul Showtime Strickland Jr. I guess it was not going to be the last time we talked to you tonight, Paul.
Maybe this time.
Well,
taking another look
tick,
here.
tick.
Tick. Yeah, time is running out here. The 51 gets crossed up, spins the tires on the start. Chantel does a fantastic job avoiding the 51 machine and holding on to that lead. It's going to be interesting to see if we go back green and how many laps we do go for here.
We'll get the pace car out there. Goss got to flip around here. Goss now finding himself on the lead lap. It'll be Chantel Pottle, Matt Janes, Corey Reed, Tyler Rourke, and Jason Goss vying for the win here. Chantel Pottle got the... Jason Goss and Chantel Pottle both going down pit road 6 laps ago, so they will actually have the same advantage when it comes to tires here on this restart.
All she's got to do pretty much is don't spin tires on this restart and hope for the best going in turn 1, because the problem is all these drivers are getting really aggressive, and I'll say it, a few of them don't seem to be using their heads really. It seems to just be, okay, the green flag's out, go, and hammer the gas and not really paying attention to what's in front of you, and that seems to be why we have so many cautions tonight. I think maybe just the patience has not been there, but we'll see what's going to happen with the dirt race here coming up. But a big opportunity again for the lone lady, Chantel Pottle. You mentioned it, Mike. International Women's Day was yesterday, and it's International Women's Week. We have so many great women in racing, whether it's in NASCAR or even at the local track, whether it's someone who is behind the wheel or maybe just someone at the canteen or maybe someone in the ticket booth. A lot of women working and racing here, and my hat's off to you, and I hope that we're going to have a great season coming up, and wouldn't this be something if Chantel can pull off the big win? And here's the thing too, Mike, if she wins this race, she will punch her ticket to the TCM All-Star Showcase coming up in April.
This isn't a TCM special event.
Come on, well, you got to add her in here. Come on.
This isn't a TCM special event.
Come on, don't
I
make me a
think
liar.
this is going to be some... We're going to have to buy Tim a pizza. No comment from Tim. Tim, are we going one lap?
I'm listening to the in-server chatter. I believe if this time runs out before we get the green, it should be a 1-lap dash, but we'll see. Follow along on the top of your screen on the ticker.
Well,
okay.
Here we go. It will be Pottle and James. James will now be to the outside. He was on the bottom earlier on with Chantel Pottle. With a bit of a crossover there, trying to take advantage there to the bottom. But a little bit of a scrub ski on the 51, but we are going to be a little bit of a seesaw here now with the 5 and the 51. But Tyler Rourke on the inside of row number 2 had some difficulty timing the restart earlier. Lights are out on the pace car. We are going to go back green. It looks like they'll get 2 to go here. It will be a green, white, checkered. Who will take the white silk and get it done? We will find out in just a moment. Dylan, man, it's going to be wild.
Hope Chantel's got a strong bumper, because I got a feeling there's going to be a bumper play move coming up here soon. Green flag is out. Chantel with the fresh set of tires on her number 5. Dives into turn number 1. Slightly washes up the track, and here comes the rookie O'Rourke. He's underneath the 5 car. They all drag race down to turn number 3. We can see cars flipping. Oh, Chantel overdrove it. She spins herself out in turn 3 and 4, and now she's facing the wrong way. And this could give the win potentially, and the checkered flag is out. The rookie O'Rourke has won the DC Auto 150.
Unbelievable. It's his debut here TCM and Eastbound eSports. Tyler O'Rourke coming for the drag strip, heading over to the oval and taking the big win. Tim, man, what a finish. Tim?
He's lost for words.
We're delivering penalties for that last caution. No fault caution, 5 and 51 to the back.
Are we finished, or are we going for a 1-lap dash?
Nope, remaining time is 4 minutes. We're done. This is the end of the race. Tyler O'Rourke, Corey Reed, and Chantel Pottle are your top 3.
Well, there you hear it from our producer here tonight, Tim Terry. Tyler O'Rourke making his debut. He takes the big win here tonight. Unbelievable. I wonder if we'll get a few of them in the chat server. Probably not, if they do not have Discord. But we'll see here. Tim, do we got any Discord chat?
He's being the referee right now, handing out penalties. But what a race!
Choke slams.
What a last 20 laps where we had Nick Codner dominating. He runs out of gas, and then the 51 had to lead for a bit. Then Chantel Pottle had it, and then just going into turn 3, she certainly felt the pressure from the other drivers, and she just went deep there into turn 3 and overdrove it. O'Rourke had the heads-up maneuver, able to get around the 5 car, and now he has cruised on to a big Eastbound iRacing, e-racing win. And he's going to burn some rubber almost like he's warming up the tires for the drag strip. He's got to be one excited driver, eh, Mike?
Oh, man, I could only imagine. He's been talking about getting into the server. He's been practicing, and here tonight he said I wasn't sure if he was actually going to make it, and he made it happen, and having a huge win, man. It's just massive for that 9-car, Tyler O'Rourke. He's had some huge wins on the drag strip, and starting off in his debut here, he's already collected some trophies here already.
So I don't know how long of a break we have between racing, but we are coming up here shortly with the dirt race at Bristol. Do we have an official name for it, Mike? We're doing the DC Auto Double, but is there an official title for this dirt race tonight?
This is the DC Auto Dirt Dash.
There we go. Tim Terry's in there. So we're going to take a little 5-minute break, Ski. I don't believe we're going to chat with our winner, Tyler O'Rourke, but congratulations to the driver from Newfoundland. Rookie, Mike, he's had to retire. He's perfect.
Another Mr. Perfect, but yeah, big congratulations to Tyler O'Rourke from all of us at Eastbound International, as well as Vidane TV and TCM Motorsports. Unbelievable night. Bit of a rough, but we'll see you shortly.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Pain is temporary. It may last for a minute, or an hour, or a day, or even a year. But eventually, it will subside, and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever. The margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second.
You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves, they want to tell you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
Don't be afraid to fail. You can't always win, but don't be afraid of making decisions.
You have to believe that something different can happen. He who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right.
That most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us.
Dig deep down and ask yourselves, who do you want to be? Figuring out for yourselves what makes you happy, no matter how crazy it may sound to the people.
Make a choice, right? You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide.
Why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why. Why can't I do that?
You said to the kid, it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. Get up.
Get up. And don't ever give up.
We can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time.
To be able at any moment to sacrifice what you are for what you will become. Most of you won't be successful because when you're studying and you get tired, you quit. I don't do well in math. You're right. You ain't never studied. I'm not good in writing because you have never written before.
Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft.
If you are not making someone else's life better, then you're wasting your time.
Don't cry to give up, cry to keep going. Don't cry to quit. You already in pain, you already hurt. Get a reward from it.
Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not point the finger saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Because every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So now you got to go out and show them that I'm a different creature. Now!
I'm going to show you how great I am.
The 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure.
Now, what are you gonna do?
Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion.
Welcome back. We have flown from Martinsville, Virginia to Bristol, Tennessee. But hey, things look a little different here, Bristol. Well, what's going on? Oh yeah, it's the new Dirt Bristol on iRacing, making its debut mere hours ago. And you knew that TCM wasn't going to waste any time getting on the dirt. Welcome back, part of the DC Auto Double. This is the DC Auto Dirt Dash at Bristol. Dylan Langell from Riverside International Speedway, Valley Raceway, Heart of a Champion Hot Rod Classics, along with Mike James from Eastbound Park and the drag racing scene and the Monster Jam scene, and I guess now a little dirt racing scene tonight, Mikey. We just finished up a pretty crazy race in Martinsville with O'Rourke, the rookie, getting the big win. Now we're going to have more Maritimers mixed in this race, maybe Americans sprinkled in here too. We're getting ready for a truck race on the dirt. This is going to be insane.
Well, this is the one that I'm looking forward to. In a couple of weeks, we are going to see the actual Cup Series here at Bristol. And, we've been seeing the highlight, all that beautiful clay. And it's going to be a wild one here tonight. Earlier on in Martinsville for the DC Auto 150 was a bit of a doozy to get things going with the big update on the Super Late models. This is the big day for iRacing. Lots of activity with the updates, but this is going to be a wild one. We are going to get straight into some heat races. It looks like Tam Woolridge is going to get the pole here in the 56, and the lone American there on the outside, that's the 33 of Brett Suggs.
Campbell Delaney in the number 9 truck alongside them, the number 12 truck of Mitchell Montgomery.
Row 3, Dale Robertson in the 530, and Matthew Barkhouse in the 15 and P6.
Richard Beasley in the number 10 car, and Quentin Carpenter in the number 16. Tony Wright, Terry Dugay, Mitchell Hutchins, and Noah Healy, a couple drivers we just saw in the race we just wrapped up, the DC Auto 150. So we are using the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series trucks. They are racing at the Dirt Bristol in a couple of weekends before the Cup Series goes at it. These trucks are already accustomed to the dirt. These drivers, I don't know, not so much.
Not Bristol, though.
No, not Bristol. Again, if you're for some reason out of the loop and why does Bristol have dirt all over it, NASCAR and Bristol feeling a little adventurous this year. The spring Bristol race will be on dirt, just like this. The track's already got dirt. They're going to have UMP modifieds and different dirt classes racing, I believe, coming up in a few weekends. And then NASCAR is going dirt racing with the trucks, and again, with the Cup Series for the first time since the 70s. Going to be a wild and wacky one, and tonight some of the best in iRacing, the Maritimes, Atlantic Canada, and the States will go at it. We're going to have a little fun this evening. Could be a little bit of a wreck fest. It could completely surprise us, and it could be a lot of crossovers and slide jobs and a little bit of everything mixed in here.
Well, I think we're going to see a lot of slide job. My past, I spent a lot of time in the monster truck industry all over the world, over the Middle East, and I've done a lot of jobs in these soccer stadiums and hockey arenas putting dirt. And man, I've been watching the build here at Bristol, and it's unbelievable how much clay has gone into it and how much thought and process to the operation here. So it's wild that iRacing jumped on this right away and simulated, but we're seeing the real deal here in the 3D modeling of Bristol. But we are set to go here. It's Tam Woolridge getting it going here, but look at this. They got a bit of a battle there for P2 as Brett Suggs kind of throws it in there. Campbell Delaney will feather off here, but he'll tag the wall. Delaney hard into the wall as Suggs sets his eye on Tam Woolridge.
Like I mentioned earlier, we've already seen the Camping World Truck Series go at it at Eldora on the dirt. I've raced NASCAR Heat trucks on the dirt. I don't know what to expect with the Cup cars on the Bristol dirt in a couple of weekends, but we're getting a little taste of the dirt in our teeth tonight, the virtual dirt, with a bunch of great drivers who are able to slug it out pretty good on the asphalt. On the dirt track, we're gonna see who's got a little something up their sleeve. And right now it's young Tam Woolridge, who has won a dirt race this year with TCM. We had some fun a couple weekends ago with the UMP modifieds and a couple other divisions. And Tanton was one of the drivers who got a big win.
I'm really surprised we're not seeing Kyle Young here tonight, as Young likes to likes the dirt racing, but maybe shied away as a lot of drivers I was expecting here tonight, but probably wanted a little bit more server time here in the dirt. But not so bad here. 4 laps completed. No, all under green here. A bit of an exchanging of paint earlier on. The 15 got a bit of a scrub there, but. Calm and collective as we get to the halfway. Cross flags as Richard Beasley gets it going here to the bottom. And I believe that's Dale Robertson and Matthew Barkhouse battling for that position.
You can just see how crooked these trucks are getting. Oh, the 10 truck, a little too Beasley. Crooked, though. Beasley facing the wrong way, a little spinaroonie there in the middle of the turns, but we were on board with a number 10 truck for a little bit, and maybe we can go on board with another truck here just to show the hand movement, and that's exactly what it's going to be like on their steering wheel at home. We're on board right now with Brett Suggs, and you can see how much they're cranking her to the right. That's why I love dirt racing. It's so unique, and to the average racing fan, or maybe someone who doesn't know a lot about racing, they would think, hey, why are you turning the wrong way? Aren't you going to wreck? Well, dirt racing, it's a little different. You have to overcorrect. You do have to turn right, or else you are going to completely spin out in these turns.
It's a right, no longer a left. But these guys are getting it done here. I'm really impressed with 3 laps to go here as we see Noah Healy, Terry Duguay down pit road as they continue green flag here. But Dylan, here in Newfoundland and Labrador, we started on the asphalt in the 1960s, and then we went on a strong run of dirt racers. And Bob Hutchins, who we'll see here tonight, is one of those legends from the dirt that goes all the way back to the 70s and 80s. So not a young gun, but definitely knows how to get it done on the dirt. And we're excited to see what the 77 of Bob Hutchins has for us tonight.
Well, Mike, my first job, and I'm still there too, at Valley Raceway, the only dirt track that runs consistently in Nova Scotia. I love dirt racing. It's in my veins. I love to see the cars do crossovers and slide jobs and just really go around these corners, diving deep and getting lots of speed out of the exit. And the driver in the 56 truck with a lot of speed on the front stretch, Tanton Woolridge, won the first heat race this evening for the DC Auto Dirt Dash. Brett Suggs, Delaney, Barkhouse, Robertson, Montgomery, Carpenter, Wright, Hutchings, and Beasley at the back end of the field. Now, we are going to be tinkering with the field. I believe we are going to be starting 25 cars tonight, 10 cars in that heat. So there could be a little hooligan race mixed in here. You never know.
You're taking a peek at the top side of the track there. That's where you do not want to end up, and you could get yourself tangled up with the wall there and create some quite a bit of damage for yourself. But as you see, look at the Bristol logo in the 3D model. Half the wall is covered up with clay base here. It's unbelievable how races here at the iRacing server. And go in, and this is the real deal, man. They just modeled this not that long ago. The job was just completed, and we're seeing a sneak peek here, first at it. So TCM doing a fabulous job jumping on this right now, and a big shout out to DC Auto. It's the Dirt Dash presented by DC Auto for making it all happen. But we're gonna get set here, Dylan. Mike Rhino, one of my favorites, the 34. He's gonna get the pole here, and Rational Richard Drake, the 141 machine, to the outside of row 1.
Winner last week in the TCM Weekly iRacing Series. Second row, Conrad Murphy and the Lone Lady Camping World truck. I wonder if Marcus Lemonis is going to throw her $100. He said he would do that on Twitter with iRacing. But Chantel Pottle just had a strong run in the DC Auto 150, was about a lap away from winning that race. Maybe she can do it on the dirt tonight. Starting in the 88 truck, it's going to take me a second to keep going from car to truck. Caden Tubbs in the 88 car, and Dave Horton, another driver we just saw, the nice Keith's Light Machine. I'm sure Ryan Van Orscott likes that. Aiden Christensen, Bob Hutchings, as you mentioned, Daniel Vitch, Troy Burke, and Ryan Twinham rounding up the field. And Mikey, you were mentioning Bob, a legend on the dirt scene in the Atlantic provinces, especially in Newfoundland.
Yeah, 100%. It'll be interesting what Bob Hutchins for us tonight. You know, those memories of back on the old dirt and the quarter miles, you know, in central Newfoundland, the Speedway, Avondale Speedway, where Eastbound is located, actually was a dirt track, and Pat Squires, the owner, completely did a full remodel, and to what we see today in Eastbound International, used to be sitting on that dirt. So, but we are getting set here to go. Mike Rhino gets it going here. Used to see a Mike Rhino in the all black, but we're going to see the white and orange machine here tonight as the 34 gets it going. But look at 141, Rachel Richard Drake all the way up to the wall. Gets a little squirrely as he maintains composure coming around the corner here. Could have got dirty up there in those marbles as we see. I think that's Chantel Pottle all the way to the top as we're seeing the Napa machine slide in there. That is, I believe, Conrad Murphy in the Napa machine here tonight.
Cool thing with dirt racing, you can take the top side, you can take the low side, whatever works best for you. There's not necessarily a big advantage. And right now it's Mike Rhino in the 34 truck in front of Rational Richard Drake. And the number 88 of Caden Tufts, they're charging their way through the field. We were 4 wide at one point. And we can see Pottle's a little loose and they're getting tangly. It looks like maybe Horton and Pottle have crashed into each other going towards one of the pit road areas, and that will not bring out the caution for heat race number 2 this evening at the Dirt Bristol track. Yeah, you can just see how the wall is just not as high because the clay and the dirt is built up on the track. And yeah, you do not want to get to the top of that track, especially coming out of the turns, because that truck may completely go the wrong way.
Yeah, as we get into the main event, you will collect to the top. It's not so bad here at the start of the races, but once you get into the main events and you get quite a few laps here, that top side in the corners are just not going to be forgiving here tonight for these drivers as the marbles collect. As we did get a quick shot from the rear of the truck as Rational Richard Drake gets close quarters with Caden Tufts in the 88 as the 88 slams the wall there as they come around here. But you know what would be interesting, Dylan, is once we get in 2 weeks to actually watch the real deal. Man, I would have paid anything to go to Bristol to see this live, but due to the COVID restrictions, this is just not going to be the year. So maybe on the bucket list that TCM, Mike, Dylan, and Tim head down
and
to
Paul.
see good. No, you didn't let me finish. Let me finish. I said we'll head down and hook up with Paul and then drive down to Bristol.
Sounds like a plan to me. Let's hope they don't just do it for the 1 year and bail on it. I hope they keep it around for a couple of years here. But yeah, I would love to stay. I would love to go to Bristol, whether there is dirt or concrete or for some reason they tore it up and made it asphalt completely again. But I'm telling you, I know there's a lot of interesting feedback with the dirt races. I know there's a lot of dirt racing purists that think this race is going to be trash. There's a lot of people that love Bristol and they're not happy that Bristol is getting rid of one of its races. But here's the thing. You're going to watch it because you're going to want to see if it's an amazing thing or if it's kind of an S show. We'll find out in a couple of weekends.
Well, the roots of NASCAR, the grassroots, it started, on the beach and on the dirt. I mean, this is a salute to the history of NASCAR. So I'm all for it, and I think it's going to be a staple event every year. It's going to be one of those big events, and I think the viewership in 2 weeks is going to be just as big as Daytona 500. So we'll see what finds out in the ratings. But final lap there, and checkers for Mike Rhino as he crosses over as we yammered off. The boys get it done here in heat race number 2. Caden Tufts, Richard Drake, your top 3.
Solid race, and you can see Horton in the Keith Light number 73. They made some contact with Chantel Pottle a little earlier on, but hey, it's all good. It's only heat racing. As you can see, the 29 car, Vitch also getting a little dirty, just trying to straighten out straighten out their truck. Well, I think we're going straight to the main event here. I don't think they're going to be doing any more CQs or any more heat racing, Mikey.
No, we are going to go straight into this one. It's going to be 71 laps, which is a strange number, but we're going to go 71 laps. I don't know the significance of the 71, but we'll get from Tim later on. But we're going to get set here. And Tam Woolridge is going to get the pole here. He was one of the quick ones, heat race winner number 1. And he'll have Mike Rhino in the 34, heat race number 2 winner, to the outside of row number 1 to get it going.
Row number 2, the lone American, I believe, Brett Suggs in the 033, young Caden Tufts in the 88 truck, starting 4th.
Inside of row number 3, the 15 of Matthew Barkhouse. He'll have Rational Richard Drake in a 141 to the outside of row 3.
Campbell Delaney and Aiden Christensen, 2 young Bando drivers in row number 4. Dale Robertson, camera guy for TCM in the 530 truck. Bob Hutchings in the 77, a legend on the dirt. Can he school some of the kids tonight?
Row number 6, Mitchell Montgomery in the 12. He'll have Napa Machine, the 89, Conrad Murphy to the outside.
Tony Wright and Daniel Vitch starting 13th and 14th. Mitchell Hutchings, Chantel Pottle starting 16th. Richard Beasley, Dave Horton, Quentin Carpenter, Ryan Twinham, Noah Healy, Troy Burke, and Terry Duguay have sprinkled into this starting lineup. So 23 drivers answering the call for the first Dirt Bristol race here on Tim's Corner Motorsports and Vidane TV. Want to thank all of y'all for checking out the racing tonight. A little Toonie Tuesday action. We're back tomorrow as well with the TCM Weekly Racing Series at the Nashville Fairgrounds. We're going to be kicking off around, I believe, 8 o'clock or 8:30 in that hour, that time frame, and we'll have some more fun on a Wednesday. But yeah, 71 laps. Interesting choice. We'll have to talk to Tim and ask why 71. Maybe he's a Dave Marcus fan. That was his number when he was racing in NASCAR.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy week. Tomorrow we're back in Nashville. It's going to be a wild one as we things heated up. I believe we're getting close to the halfway point. But still a lot of activity here in the simulator before we get back to the real deal. Dude, we're only 6-7 weeks away from Victoria Day weekend to the official launch of the season for all of Atlantic Canada. I know we're pretty pumped, but we're green flag here with the 56 Tam Woolridge as you take a peep. I believe that's the 88 of Caden Tufts. Getting close quarters right now with the 33 of Brett Suggs as the top four kind of separate from the rest of the field. Your fifth place car running right now, Rational Richard Drake back there as these front group, top four kind of separating a bit.
Had some pretty clean racing, if you will, in the heat races. Only one incident involving two trucks, and you can see all these drivers are trying to figure out what line works best for them. And with dirt racing, you can use that outside wall as a guide. Oh my gosh, Noah Healy, what's going on? He was facing the wrong way, and he made contact with the leader, Tanton Woolridge.
Yeah, but that's unfortunate. We're gonna hear from Paul Showtime Strickland. We got to talk to him quite a bit in Martinsville, but take us back. Look at the simulator. Dirt on pit road, dirt in the stands. Man, it's gonna be awesome.
We'll get this microphone unmuted one way or another. This is so cool, man. We just watched a couple of really cool, entertaining heat races here. Bristol Dirt. Man, I had my opinions going into this. I thought it was going to be a nightmare, but man, I've been entertained so far. This has been pretty cool, and we're going to take a look at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay, find out what just went down with Noah Healy. It looks like he's climbed out of the truck, and he's done for the evening. But you can see here he comes. Looks decent. There you see the 73 up, stuck in the wall glue up there. Wall glue, easy enough for me to say. And there you can see just some contact with the number 29 and just kind of sends him on down around. Not a big hit, just kind of a lazy spin. Gets it spun around, but he shot down pit road and is all done for the evening. Having a little bit of trouble getting it pointed in the right direction, but I guess that'll happen in big time dirt racing. Oh, right in front of the leaders there. A little bit of contact, it looked like, with the leader, but did finally get that pointed away, and I do believe that was Tim knocking at the door.
I just want to let you guys know, pass along, driver change in the 84. That was Brian Healy behind the wheel, not Noah Healy.
Well, there you go, crew chief for the 84 from the Bando team here at Eastbound. Switching it up here tonight. I know Brian runs in a couple of leagues throughout the iRacing, so... but he is done for the evening. They have exited the server. Now 20 cars now vying for the big win, the DC Auto Dirt Dash. You know what's cool here, Dylan? The actual sim is actually showing the clay collection in the stands. So when we go to watch this in a couple of weeks, it'll be interesting to see how many people, how many ladies show up with white shirts.
Well, I can speak from announcing at Valley Raceway. I'm usually covered in dirt and dust after a day at the races. I've actually had my teeth completely turned brown because of how much dust was flying in the air. So if you're a dirt racing fanatic, things can get a little dirty even if you're sitting in the stands or even working in the announcer booth. See, at Valley Raceway, we don't have a proper announcer booth. It's like a kind of a patio with sort of a tent cover to get us out of the sun. It's pretty neat being there, but we don't have a facility like Eastbound with the giant castle to announce.
Yeah, I'm the princess in the castle. But this last season, we actually did go in the castle. I called for the first time with the fans, and I gotta say, doing a play-by-play and the interaction with the fans, I much preferred calling in the grandstand with the fans. It was probably the coolest thing I have done in my career in motorsports was actually calling a race with the fans next to you.
You just like hearing your own voice on the speakers, don't you?
Well, they put soundproof glass in the castle, so it's very difficult to hear the race unless you listen to the monitor. But yeah, great to be outside and probably keep it going next season. But we'll get things going again. Here's Tam Woolridge gets it going. For the young gun himself, knows how to handle a dirt truck here tonight. Tam Woolridge looking sharp here in the early stages here of lap 8.
Oh, we got a couple of cars getting tangly. Looks like Bob Hutchings. I keep saying cars. It's trucks here at Bristol tonight. But a couple of trucks getting tangly on the backstretch, but we are still green flag racing. Tam Woolridge in front of Mike Rhino. You can see Rational Richard has dropped back a little bit after being up front early on. And here comes Caden Tubbs underneath Rhino, charging through the field. Two young drivers up in front. Brett Suggs, one of the lone American drivers usually on the TCM circuit. He is in the top 5, along with Matthew Barkhouse. Haven't seen a whole lot of Matty here recently, and now he's in the top 5, trying to go for the big win here for the DC Auto Dirt Dash at Bristol Motor Speedway. Look at how they're just cranking right on the wheel here. 5, 6 trucks going for first here on the front stretch.
Yeah, I'm loving the camera work that Paul's been showing us throughout this race. Verdane TV really getting it done here tonight and giving us a real close view of what we're going to see in a couple of weeks. But man, I'm excited here tonight to see what's going to happen here because, you know, all these guys and ladies here, you know, Chantel Paolo representing the women here tonight, have done a fabulous job jumping into a brand new racetrack, only a couple hours in the server. I know Chantel probably spent more time in Martinsville preparing for the DC Auto 150, so this is probably her first run here at Bristol. So pretty impressed with all these drivers and the skill level that we're seeing here tonight, as they obviously know how to turn right.
There's just something so special about being at a dirt track. I know here in Canada, especially here in the coast, there's not many dirt tracks. I've already mentioned Valley Raceway, Liverpool Roughneck Racing, kind of dirt racing in the South Shore, but that's more of a gravel track, I believe. I don't think there are any dirt tracks in New Brunswick and PEI and Newfoundland. Mike, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a little dirt track here or there, but I've had the pleasure of going to Skagit Speedway in Washington State. Got to check out some 360 sprint cars. You can see one of the trucks, number 141, Irrational Richard, was grinding on the wall up top. I think he got in the marbles a little bit. But being at a real awesome facility, dirt track, seeing those cars whip around and just slide everywhere, it's something to see. If you're a giant racing fan, if you have an opportunity to go to a dirt race, you need to do it.
Yeah, and dirt racing down south is totally different, like you said, compared to some of these tracks. I mean, that special clay, it just cannot be found just anywhere. I'm really surprised we don't see it in PEI. I spent quite a bit of time in PEI, and I mean, the clay there is like butter. And so to get a track like we're seeing right here at Bristol, it takes a special soil and clay base, and not every province or city can have access to this, or would cost a fortune sometimes. But as we draw out a caution here, we see the 14 coming around to the bottom corner. That's going to bring out our good friend Paul Showtime Strickland to take us back a little bit here, take a peek at Terry Duguay.
Man, I am pumped up, guys. This is incredible. I think here at Verdane TV, we're not going to do anything else ever again except for Bristol Dirt. This is fantastic. Really, really good racing here, and looks like the 14 of Terry Duguay find themselves a little bit crossed up there. You can see him kind of on the outside there, the two-tone blue machine there. He's kind of running the high side, and there's Richard Beasley in the time machine right behind him. And you can see doesn't quite get any contact, maybe gets a contact with that black truck, comes on around, and there you can see just overturns it just a little bit. Kind of a lazy spin, doesn't hit anything. Good news there, but kind of gets stuck down in the bottom of the racing groove, and he backs up and brings out the caution flag here. But man, what's great racing so far here at Bristol Dirt, the first ever Bristol Dirt race here on Verdane TV. Very happy to be able to bring it out to the fans. Thanks everybody that's watching over on Facebook and YouTube. I'm pumped up. This is great.
Question for you, Paul and Dylan. Have you guys actually been to Bristol?
I have not. It is on the bucket list, and I definitely like the idea of
happening.
Yeah, that's happening. We'll have to see what goes down with the COVID restrictions down here. I know they're starting to finally lighten up on some of the stuff here in Connecticut, but man, we'll see what happens. I'd definitely like to hang out, maybe crack a couple of cold wobbly pops, and watch some short track racing down there in Tennessee.
Well, with the affiliation with NASCAR, with the Advanced Auto Parts Series in Newfoundland, Labrador, Tona could hook us up, and we'll spend some time down in Bristol, because I'm definitely going to make it happen in 2022, and it'll be my pleasure to hang out with you, Paul and Dylan and Tim, and actually make a week of it, and maybe check out a football game or something down there, because they actually run football games here at Bristol. The last time I was at Bristol, it was about 6 years ago. It took a 10-year-old to Memphis, Tennessee for the World Finals for IHRA drag racing, and one of his things, he wanted to see Bristol, and we stopped in, and man, Thunder Valley, their 3-wide drag strip there is unbelievable. What a facility Bristol Motor Speedway is. So,
and that's actually
one
of the cool things with the iRacing Bristol Dirt is I'm trying to get a good shot of the infield here, but I can't quite get it to pull up. They've got the football field set up down in there.
When we were there, the football state, it was right before the conversion, but you know, when you walk in, it says the Great Coliseum, and man, it is a Coliseum, man. It's just, man, when you walk in there, it's just unbelievable feeling, and I can only imagine. I've never seen a race there, but it is definitely on the bucket list, and man, would it be wild to see a dirt race there. But we're going to see it in a couple weeks, Paul, and maybe we'll do a live stream and drink some wobbly pops.
Oh, for sure. We can do a live at AIM-TV reaction, as it were, for sure.
Do you think the Bristol Dirt is going to be as popular as the Daytona 500?
It's really hard to tell. I can see the arguments for both sides of it. I know a lot of the hardcore dirt racing fans don't like the idea of just putting dirt on Bristol, and that's kind of my thought originally. But after seeing all the work that they put into it, and after seeing some of the reactions here from iRacing, kind of digging it. It's really going to open a lot of the NASCAR fans' eyes to dirt racing that they may not have seen before, even with the truck series. As we go green, Tanton Woolridge spins the tires just a little bit. Brett Suggs scrapes the wall a little bit, but that's going to even them out as they head down in turn number 1.
Hey, see, you don't just do play-by-plays. You can do it a call.
I'm just pumped, man. This is great. This is some fantastic racing.
Keep it going. We'll make it 3 wide.
Yeah, we are going 3 wide with the 9, the 88, and the 33 getting tangly. We were double 3 wide there for a moment. Now Brett Suggs clears the number 88 truck of of Caden Tufts. Tanton Woolridge is still hanging in front. Young dirt driver. Shockingly, I don't think he has any dirt experience, because there is no dirt track in Prince Edward Island, but he's acting as if he drives on the red clay all the time. And Mike, with Valley Raceway, and you can somewhat see it right now in the middle of the turns, the track will really harden as we go along, as more rubber lays down on the track. By the end, it's pretty much like an asphalt track, just a little bumpier.
Yeah, and that's the thing we're going to see as we do bring out the caution, so we will talk to Paul. But track conditions are going to get a little bit crazier as you take a peek there, Paul, because it's a wicked shot of the track right here from that low bumper camera there. But, yeah, it's going to come away and change as we get there. So, Paul, take us back to that caution.
Yeah, it looks like the 530 of Dale Robinson involved in that. A couple of cars, or trucks rather, are going to have to put a nickel in the jar. We keep putting nickels in the jar here, Dylan. We might be able to pay for our tickets.
That's true.
But we'll take a look.
I got the tickets.
Oh, fantastic. Then we'll put that towards the beer budget. But here you can see the 5, the 10, the 89 kind of running all together here. And the 530 we're going to keep an eye on. I believe that's that black and red truck, and there you can see them kind of closing in. Chantel Powell doing a great job in the 5 truck, and it looks like the issues right there, well, with all 4 of these trucks making contact just a bit. There you can see a couple of drivers going around on the high side, but the 89 and the 530 of Dale Robinson getting the brunt of that, but they do stay on the lead lap, it looks like, just barely as the pace truck comes around. The 73 looks like, well, there was a second incident there. Gonna have to pull that up and back that up, because you can see there's some black smoke coming out from underneath the 73. And you can see as he comes through here, there's already an incident, a couple of trucks. We saw that in the 09 truck. There it is. 09 kind of hits the wall, gives him a bootski. Kind of a T-bone effect there, and it just kind of sent him on around. So that's a tough break for Dave Horton. He's going to retire from the race. It's going to give us 14 drivers left on the racetrack. Check that. 16 drivers on the track, 14 on the lead lap. So it's about to get interesting, even more interesting.
We haven't talked about the Verdane store, but Paul, have you got the new T-shirt? Gives them a bootski.
Not yet. It's been a rough, busy week here at the old shoot job, as it were, but we got a lot of stuff written down on the notepad. Gonna try and get that thing updated this week. We got the Tangley Light shirt design all ready to go, get that thing uploaded. Yes. So lots of cool stuff happening over at the Verdane shop. Verdane.shop, punch it in just as you hear it into the address bar. We got hats, sweatshirts. The Angry Tree Guy line is over there. Visual Pollution. We got the Two Drunk eSports shirts are over there. Lots of cool stuff going on, and lots more to come. As got a lot of ideas written down, just trying to put pen to paper, as it were, and get everything into the old merchandise table.
I want a Tangley Light bikini for my wife.
Fair enough. I don't know if we can do bikinis, but I can definitely do a sports bra for you. Well, for your wife, not for you. Definitely not for you.
On the door. Timmy, you there?
Yeah, just a quick little report. I talked to Richard Beasley a little bit earlier on. He's down there at your disposal if you want an in-race reporter. But he was telling me he actually did some super speedway racing earlier on this build, and Paul will get a kick out of this. The super speedway model, the Aero model, is a lot more, I guess, realistic. You get somebody on your right rear, you can definitely feel it inside the race car now, and that's coming from the Verdane Super Speedway champion from this year. So something else, if you're on iRacing and you want to do something different and check out the new build, check out the Super Speedway Racing.
That's the famous Tim Terry from Tim's Corner Motorsports producing here tonight. Got his hands full, but not a lot of cautions here. 30 laps completed, 41 to go here as it's been all Tanton Woolridge. And you know what, Dylan, we've seen a few Mr. Perfect nights. I'm not going to jinx them just yet, but could be a big night for Tanton Woolridge. But Brett Suggs may be the one to make a difference here tonight as we see a bit of door slamming back there. That's Delaney Barkhouse, and I believe that is Caden Tufts.
Yeah, the teammates, Delaney and Caden Tufts, they pretty much have the same paint scheme on both of their trucks. And here comes the American Ranger, Brett Suggs, crossover across the 56. And we've got a couple of cars, triple of cars, quadruple cars getting tangly, and a few are going to have to go down pit road unintentionally.
Beasley just slides by it. Drive through it, he says. Drive through. But caution here on lap 33. That's going to bring in our good friend Paul Showtime Strickland Jr. and a little Kong beer bong.
Man, I don't know. I think we saved that. That's a couple of drivers leaning on each other here. We'll back up the old Kong beer bong instant replay. Richard Beasley driving on through past that, and we're actually going to. Well, let's ride on board with the 10 truck here of Richard Beasley and see what he saw as this happened, and then we'll take a look at the blimp view. But there you can see 3 wide, almost 4 wide. They kind of get into contact with each other, and Beasley's just all up on the wheel, gets right on by. Oh, here comes the 88, the cone, the other teammate, and gets right by, no problem. That's going to move Beasley up into the 6th position. So great heads-up driving from the number 10 driver there. And we're going to take a look to see if we can figure out exactly what went down with Caden Tufts, and you can see there's just slamming those trucks together, and it's about what it was. They come out of the corner 2x2 here, the 88 and the 9 side by side. The 15 of Barkhouse shoots on down low to make it 3 wide. Rational Richard Drake gets up into the wall just a little bit. These 3 drivers hit each other. Mike Rhino gets T-boned by 2 drivers at the same time, and then the caution flag comes out. There you see Beasley kicking that cone on down the front stretch. Long stretch there for the cone, so that might be a record for the longest thing we booted that thing down for. But wow, lots of action here at Bristol Dirt for sure.
It's a wild one as we close to the cross flags halfway point here, Dylan, as will get us to that point.
That's right.
Cross those sticks.
I'm crossing my arms in the air right now. Can you see them?
No crossing swords.
Oh, what? What are you talking about? This isn't the line for the men's.
Oh boy. Halfway here at the DC Auto Dirt Dash here at Bristol Live. Man, I'm super pumped to see what happens here. Suggs now is your current leader. Tam Woolridge leading for majority of this race. Pretty much 45% of it here, but he'll fall in place now to the outside of row number 1. Caden Tufts, Richard Drake will start in position number 3 and 4. Aiden Christensen and Richard Beasley now in row 3. Mitchell Montgomery, Dale Robertson in 4. Chantel Pottle, Mitchell Hutchings completing your top 10. Richard Beasley making his way up to position number 6 in the Tide machine. Ricky Rudd, is that the paint scheme?
Yeah, Ricky Rudd, Daryl Waltrip, Ricky Craven. You could throw in all the Tide Ride drivers. I see that, and the number 10, so that would be Ricky Rudd. So the old Tide Ride he had when he had his own team back in the 90s. The first NASCAR I ever got a photo with, in fact, was a Ricky Rudd number 10 Tide machine at a Sobeys here in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. So I got that photo with my younger brother Colton here hanging up in my apartment. So, Tide's been in my life for a bit with cleaning the clothes and with racing as well. Got to clean off these trucks eventually because we're getting back to racing. The dirt and the clay is a flying here at Dirt Bristol. It's been a hootenanny here so far. It's so great to see the driving ability of these drivers. And even with iRacing, it's so different compared to racing at Bristol normally. A few times you can just keep her full throttle and crank her left here. You got to crank it right a little bit. Tam Woolridge is not giving up, trying to lose the lead to the 33 truck of Brett Suggs. He is fighting on the outside. Suggs on the bottom in that blue truck. Caden Tufts in third, watching these two trucks tangle for first.
And that's the great thing about dirt racing is, the high quicker on this lap. It's just so not consistent all through the board. As the 56 is finding some speed to the top of the track, it is the longest way around the track. But Tam Woolridge making it work as he goes door to door. A little drag race down the backstretch, coming into 3 and 4 as Suggs maintains that lead just by a little bit here as Tam Woolridge tries to get to the quarter panel. But now he'll decide to hold up a bit. Still plenty of racing with 30 to go here as we have a 3-way dance. Caden Tufts now entering the picture for the run here, now entering P3 as he gets to the back bumper of the 56 of Tam Woolridge.
Tanton's really good coming out of turn 4. You can just see the run he'll get on. Suggs closes in with about 3 car lengths. Now he's going to try and tuck it low, and here comes Caden Tufts on the top side of the track. Will the 56 have to play a little defense or some offense? He may have to have a hybrid to try and catch back up to the 33, Brett Suggs. Rational Richard Drake is in 4th, a little further back from the 88 truck. And in 5th, it is the number 24, another young gun here, Aiden Christensen. Great run so far, and here comes Richard Beasley in that beat-up number 10. I don't think Tide's going to make that thing look completely clean. He may have to go completely to the body shop after this. But, hey, we've seen at Eldora with the truck series, you can have a really smashed-up truck, and you can still be very fast. Sometimes it just comes to pure ability on the dirt.
Yeah, and I think the amount of dirt that collects on the front, I can only trying to cool down these big NASCAR motors. But the damage sometimes may not play a factor. I think it really comes into the rhythm of the driver. As we tags Richard Beasley gets into, I believe that was Aiden Christensen now as they pick it up, as they continue to door slam each other. And now Christensen going to catch the inside corner there of the pit wall. That's going to bring out a lot of damage on that machine, but we are still on the green as we have a peek at Richard Beasley, the 10 machine, and P5. His next target's going to be 141 of Rational Richard Drake as we take a peek at our leaders. Brett Suggs from North Carolina, the 33, had a bit of practice here today. I did get to peek in at the 33 of Brett Suggs on his live stream. So he's been pretty busy here at Bristol all day. So probably keyed the most laps out of all these drivers, but who knows? I'm not quite sure how many laps these guys got logged, but I can guarantee you Brett Suggs took it pretty serious and put the time in.
Richard Drake is now in third in the 141 truck. He is about a second behind Tanton Woolridge, near 2 seconds away from the leader, Brett Suggs. And this is a quick and dirty race, pun intended. We are flying through the 71 lap feature. See, it's just such a random number, but hey, you know what? It's kind of the random.
Tonight's random.
That's okay. But hey, it's the DC Auto Dirt Dash, and want to thank Doug Critch and the crew again for sponsoring both races tonight. We saw a first-time winner in the first race in Martinsville. We've got 2 drivers up front, 3 if you count in Richard Drake, who've already got a number of TCM wins under their belt. But have they got a dirt win? Only 10 Woolridge so far. We'll see if Brett Suggs can add dirt Bristol to his repertoire.
Looking at the times, I mean, you're talking only 2 100ths of a second in the difference between Tanton Woolridge and Brett Suggs. Woolridge definitely studying the lines that the 33 is coming down, as we see a little bit of a wobble from the 50. He loses a bit of composure there coming down the stretch, but he maintains. But look at the line that the 56 is testing. He gets really up close to that wall, and sometimes that could get a little squirrely up there. It could throw you. A lot of marble buildup up there, but you got to be careful. We'll see what the 56 throws down here as he continues to throw down pretty fast laps. Suggs a little bit sharper on that last one by about 1/8 of a second. But this is definitely a wild night here at Bristol. 20 laps to go. 19 actually, as Suggs keeps it going here. Having a peak right now at the 141 of Rational Richard Drake. He is your 3rd place, sitting on the podium right now. And Caden Tufts, the 88, trying to close the bridge now on the 141.
I'm going to sound like Larry McReynolds a little bit, Mike and Paul, but with not trans, with TCM, there's usually a caution with at least 10 to go, and I think we're right. And there we are. There's that trend kicking in. So we got another caution on lap 53 71. I was correct, wasn't I?
Yeah. Well, that's going to bring in our good friend Paul Showtime Strickland, as he's been playing Magic Man with the cameras here tonight. What a beautiful job, Paul. Thanks for bringing us to Bristol and doing a great job on the cameras here tonight.
Now you see me, now you don't. Just taking a look through the old instant replays here. Another reference that we all understand. But just taking a look through the instant replay here. I'm not seeing anybody pointed in the wrong direction per se. I mean, a lot of these drivers doing a great job sliding these things into the corners, and looks like possibly some contact with Barkhouse here and Robertson, but not quite. Just not seeing anything substantial that would have brought the caution out. Maybe we'll take a look at Richard Beasley, who's kind of running in the 10th position now. Just running through. Oh, there was a car going in the wrong way. See if we can back this up one more time. Looks like Terry Duguay in the 14 truck pointed in the wrong direction. So we'll back up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. And as a 2-truck incident between Terry Duguay and the number 9 of Campbell Delaney here. And we got it from the old blimp view. And you can see these drivers. There's Terry Duguay in the two-tone blue truck with the Shell logo on the back. And the 9 car of Campbell Delaney comes in just a little bit hot. Gets a little bit of a bump, second bump, and kind of a third bump. And they come to a rest there at the entrance of pit road there on the backstretch, I believe that is. There you saw Campbell Delaney calling for the tow truck right away, and Terry Duguay's kind of struggling to get that thing moving, so he calls for the tow truck as well. But that's going to put those drivers down on pit road and leave us with still 12 trucks on the lead lap, so still anybody's ball game at this point.
Yeah, still plenty of time. 15 to go here as we're going to see possibly another couple of laps here as they get set to double up here. Terry Duguay, Campbell Delaney on pit road, checking in with them. Looking at the laps here, Dylan, Richard Beasley is our final competitor on the lead lap. 12 cars now on the lead lap. Aiden Christensen down 1 lap. Campbell Delaney down 5. Tony Wright down 6. Terry Duguay down 9 laps. So 16 trucks. Truck. 16 trucks. Something about a truck. 16 trucks still in the server right now. We started with 23. 7 have said goodnight.
I tell you what, Mike and Paul, I don't dictate what special events we brew up here with TCM and Verdane TV. But before we get the real cup race here on dirt, we got to have an actual cup race here on Verdane and TCM on the dirt, I think, because this truck race has been very, very fantastic.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch. Even starting with the heat races, the first couple of laps these drivers have really been able to put on, and we've been bouncing the idea around of doing a 1-year anniversary / birthday show here for Verdane TV. The first show we ever did was back on March 28th of last year during the COVID pandemic. That was the East Coast Winter League, and we've been saying we wanted to do a great big event, kind of a one-day, all-day thing, and invite all of the leagues that have worked with us here at Verdane TV. So it may very well be here at Bristol Dirt. We might have to put on a big old dirt show.
Well, I hope there's a lot of wobbly pops. As we go green flag, Suggs gets it going here. But look at this, Tam Woolridge fights his way down to the bottom, but we have a new leader again as the 56, Tam Woolridge throws a huge panel in front of the 33 of Suggs.
Look how much dirt is on the front of Caden Tuff's truck. It is brown completely, and splitting the 33 and the 88 is the monster machine of Barkhouse. Slide job right in front of the top two there. What a move by Matthew Barkhouse. Now he gets around the 88 and the 33 truck. The next objective catching up to Young, Tam Woolridge. Brett Suggs right in the wall. You don't want to do that. Now he's going to fall back a few positions. And there's the lone lady, Chantal Pottle, beat, battered and all in that 5 truck in front and is still in the top 5.
That was something that we talked about at the beginning of this race. Suggs into the marbles there in that top side. There's probably 5-6 inches of buildup up there as we see. Sometimes they get through pretty clear, but obviously what we've just seen, the 33 really falling off as he led some of this race here. Now falling back all the way to the 6th position. But Matthew Barkhouse obviously got the call as we see another driver getting caught in the marbles.
Delaney
got to stay out of the top side. Delaney now getting in trouble as we do see more drivers trying to make that outside work, but the marbles are definitely building up to the top, really slowing down these machines. But we're seeing a caution here on lap 63. But I do want to make a mention, Matthew Barkhouse in the 15 must have got a kick in the boot ski from his spotter, because he really came alive there those last couple laps. Paul?
Yeah, just pulling up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay here, trying to see if we can find what all went down again. It's hard to follow along with all the action that's going on here at Bristol Dirt, because man, oh man, these guys and gals are all over the place, and really it looks like the 11 truck of Mitchell Hutchings, kind of running in a 4-truck back pack, easy enough for me to say for the first time. And you see, we'll pull up the replay, kind of running 3 wide as they go into the turns here. And the 11 truck of Hutchings goes all the way down on the low side. Here comes Conrad Murphy in the 89, Richard Beasley in the 10. They both kind of have a little bit of momentum, and the 11 truck kind of slides into the back of the 89, and they kind of get tangled up there, as does Beasley. He gets a little bit of a shot there, but the 11 truck tags that outside wall, sends him around, and he's up in the marbles there. But before that caution came out, how about Chantal Pottle running in the top 5, racing her way up into the top 500 green? That's a great run for that 5 truck.
International Women's Week, empowering. This lady has, in the Oxford series, and man, she is probably one of the most dedicated racers that I've witnessed in my career. Throughout the whole week, she's a super fan, and it's great to see her have a stellar night. She almost took the DC Auto 150 earlier on, had a bit of a exchange of blows, we'll call it, with the 51.
Yeah.
But here, top 3. She's podium here as we count them down. This probably will get us within 4 laps, as we are still not double filed, as they now start to set things up here. They may come within 4 to go, I would say, here as we get set to go. Lights are still out on that pace truck. A lot of dirt on these trucks, so I can only imagine, how do these guys set up the cooling option on these trucks with all this dirt being built up on the front?
Well, in the real truck race, they're going to have that grill that they can remove, and there's going to be no live pit stops during the truck race and the cup race, so they'll be able to clean them off. But either way, even if you still got the grill on there to kind of take away some of the dirt there, it's still going to be tough, and that's going to be the really cool thing with the cup dirt race coming up. A lot of unknowns coming in here, and yeah, that will be certainly a bucket list race for myself. And hey, if we can get that going in 2022, I would love to be down in Tennessee with y'all and
it's done.
Get back to the It's done?
It's done. We're
Cool.
going.
Awesome.
We're going to do it. We're going to get paid by Kong Beer Bong, and we're going to shoot a commercial down there.
I like it.
Sounds good
Run
to
it.
me.
Paul, we'll be on national TV.
Oh, warn your friends, warn your family. Green flag is back out. And Matthew Barkhouse. Matthew Barkhouse had a horrible start there. Something wrong with the 15. We are 3-4 wide. Chantal Pottle's drifting back a little bit. Oh, Rational Richard making it a sandwich, trying to charge through the field. And that's Rhino charging through the field. Where did he come from? He's been lagging back a little bit. And how about Dale Robertson? Where did he come from? He was in a wreck earlier. Now he is in second, catching up to Tanton Woolridge with 3 laps to go. And he's grinding there in the number 88 truck.
Oh, well, there's tons of grinding right now. Dale Robertson, man on a mission, heading to the moon as he gets around the 88 of Caden Tufts and sets his sight on Tanton Woolridge. Woolridge started to build a bit of a gap, a quarter of a second on Dale Robertson, which is a monster amount of time here as he gets plenty of clean air. We'll see Mike Rhino up at the top side. He's going to get dragged down by the marbles. He'll lose a lot of momentum. It's going to be a 5-way dance for the finish here as we count down 2 to go here at Bristol for the TC Auto Dash. We got Delaney going around, but we are still under green. Caution may not come out as the cone is flying. Dylan, take us home. White silk in the air.
That poor pylon's murdered. Hey, Mike, I think we have another Mr. Perfect leading from the start to the finish. Tanton Woolridge, he lives in PEI with the red dirt, and he dominates on the dirt at Bristol. He wins the DC Auto Dirt Dash 71 lead laps. Oh, my, and what a finish to the start-finish line with Matthew Barkhouse and Dale Robertson finishing out the top 3. What a race here. What a finish, and what a fun night doubling up here. But this race on the dirt certainly exceeded my expectations.
It's a wacky Tuesday, but it's an unbelievable Tuesday as they set the bar here for the Bristol dirt track. Tam Woolridge, young gun bandolero driver from Prince Edward Island, becoming near Mr. Perfect. Suggs did take a few of those laps away from him.
Okay, yeah.
But nope, no Mr. Perfect here tonight. But dominant 9 for the 56 machine. Unbelievable. But Matthew Barkhouse and Dale Robertson. Who is that Dale Robertson?
He has done a little camera work with Tim and myself at Scotia Speed World. Funny enough, my brother Wyatt works with him in Mark's Work Warehouse, so there's a couple of connections there. But yeah, he's one good iRacer, especially in the dirt. Yeah, he's one good iRacer. We found out. Hey, Dale, what's up? Dylan here. Man, I didn't know you were so good at iRacing. Why haven't you been on here before?
Been on for a couple of years. I just, I don't know, never thought to hop in races with you guys, I guess. I did a couple of years ago. I almost won a race here at Bristol in the super late model.
Well, welcome back to welcome back to TCM Racing. How did you find the dirt this afternoon and this evening with the truck?
Raced pretty good for the first little bit, and it kind of, you could see it dried up really a lot on the bottom, and I don't know how I got up to third there on that last restart, but it seas kind of parted. I kind of got down there, and I just couldn't catch a leader. That's it. But good race.
Yeah, solid, and you got close to Tanton Woolridge by the end there. What would you give the dirt Bristol out of 10? What would your rating be?
It's hard to say. I'll give it a 5. I'd need a little more time on it, I think. And there's definitely a little more they could do, I think. I like iRacing, but it always takes a couple builds to get the stuff up to snuff.
So now that you got a podium finish with the TCM event, can we expect you to be around for a few more special events?
Most definitely. I will definitely be back.
Right on, man. Well, that's Dale. That's Dale Robertson getting the top 3, and I think my brother Wyatt was saying maybe you're going in the military soon. I think.
Yeah, in the application process at the moment, but soon enough.
Well, congratulations, man, and pretty cool. You're going to be serving for our nation, and we'll hope to see you on some iRacing here soon. Okay, pal?
Thanks.
Right on. That's Dale finishing 3rd here in the truck, Mike. Pretty impressive run. We've had a couple of unexpected drivers to make some top positions here. And Mike, we have a race winner here in the virtual announcer booth, and he's just covered from head to toe in virtual dirt. It's Tanton Woolridge in 56.
Tanton, you got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
Bro, what a night. Almost going near perfect. The 33 at Brett Suggs kind of gave you a run for a bit. For a young guy, coming out, from the Bandolero series and now coming to a brand new track in the server, dude, what is it? How does the 56 get it done here in Bristol?
To be honest, really, I think it's just the people that I've kind of surrounded me with. I mean, I've been surrounded with some really great people these past couple months that have helped me out in the real world and on the virtual racetrack. So I think it's just everyone helped me out, letting me do my thing. My parents have been huge, letting me come down here every night and practice. So I think just being allowed to practice and having everyone around me has really helped us out and got that done tonight.
So, you must have been biting at a bit for the big drop today from iRacing. Were you in the server as soon as you could to get a bit of lap times here for tonight?
Yeah, I think there was three practice servers or something up, and I was in every single one of them. So I was chomping at the bit. I actually thought that this released yesterday, so I was very disappointed when I got home from school yesterday, but just made it that much more exciting at 4:30 today.
I gotta say, I've never met you, but I've got to call quite a bit of shows with you. Starting in Oxford, now Nashville, and through some of these TCM events. I'm super proud of you of development that I have seen since December, because that 56 machine has really come alive, and you're putting on a lot of big shows. So props to you. What tonight coming into it? You said you had quite a bit of practice. What made you a little bit better than the rest? What line did you prefer here tonight?
That's a very interesting question. The biggest thing that I've learned racing dirt, and I said it after Limaland, that I run quite a bit of dirt. And it's you're not racing the other trucks or cars. You're racing the racetrack and you're racing yourself. And that's the biggest thing is just those. I think it was like 15 other trucks tonight. Those are just 15 distractions from you racing the racetrack. So at the start of the run, it was definitely a bottom racetrack, and then it kind of moved up into the top in 1 and 2, stayed at the bottom in 3 and 4, and then coming on the end there, just the top slicked up too much and you were losing too much momentum. So it came back down to the bottom.
Brilliant answer. How old are you, Tanton?
I'm 15 years old.
15 turning 46, my friend. Who gets it done for you for the 56? Who do you want to thank tonight for the big win? Unbelievable, bud.
Yeah, there's a list that goes on. Caden Tufts does a ton. He's been swamped with paint requests. So Caden, Matt Watson, he's been a huge one lately. So he's been helping me out with the real world side of things and on the sims. So he gets a huge credit. John Fitzpatrick, he setups, he's helped me out an absolute ton in the Oxford and Nashville series. As well, we got McKinnon Bros Service Center. They've been a partner on that bando since day one. Ryan Jackson HVAC, CT, Circle B Diecast. There's actually a discount. I'm not sure exactly what the promo code is, but there's a discount. It's on the quarter if you want to go back and see that. So just those guys, and like I said, my parents and all the rest of the real world sponsors.
We're only counting down the weeks now until we get to Victoria Day weekend. I know you're from Prince Edward Island. Any new tracks that you have? I said, any plans for testing out some new tracks this season?
Yeah, we got a ton. Just like our schedule's starting to form, and the big focus is the bando. Now there's some talk about testing actually 2 different divisions. So I think we're gonna try that. and there is actually starting to form possible Eastbound trips. So I'm really hoping to make it up to you guys this year.
Woo-hoo! Well, we'll roll out the red carpet for you, and maybe import Dylan Langell and Tim Terry to come down for the party and have a real. But anything you need to know, you just shoot me a message. But from all of us from Bedane TV and TCM, man, congratulations, dude. Really proud of you.
Thank you, and thank you guys to putting these on these shows every single time. I appreciate it, and it makes it that much more exciting.
Wild night for Tanton Woolridge in the 56, Dylan. Man, what an awesome night. I believe we have our second place finisher, Matthew Barkhouse, in the 15. You got him?
I got him if he's got me. Do you got me, Matt?
I'm here.
Wild end to a wild race. First day with the dirt Bristol. How did you find it in your truck this evening?
Well, I don't know what I'm doing out there. I don't run this dirt stuff, and I was like, oh, the race is up. I'll show up and see what it's about. And next thing you know, your inner competitiveness comes out, and you're trying to figure out how to be up front. But I had no idea what was going on. I was just driving the truck and seeing out of the wall if I could.
So you don't have a ton of dirt racing experience on iRacing?
I think I've messed around once or twice before for a couple laps, but I've never tried to race fast or figure it out. I just run around and hang with my buddies.
So what was your plan towards the end? Were you kind of taking it easy and just hoping trucks wrecked, or you figured, okay, I've been racing for about 70-ish laps here. I think I got it figured out?
On that restart, I kind of picked up that making track position right away was going to be key. I didn't have the speed or the know-how on what to do to run those fast laps like Tanton and a couple other guys were. And that second last restart, when I looked like I hit the wall, I hit the gas and it shot right, and I have no idea what was going on, and somehow came out with the second place again. So,
well, it was pretty fun to watch it here from the virtual announcers booth, and I'm sure all the fans watching on Tim's Corner and Bedane TV had a blast. Well, let's talk some real racing. I know that you're busy with sales at Kia, but are there plans for you to get behind the wheel of a car in 2021?
if I decide to stop being lazy and put the Sportsman together, then I would be in a car, but I also was supposed to start doing that back in November, and it's still a bare chassis in the garage, so we'll see what happens.
Well, either way, we hope to see you at the track, whether you watch or you get that Sportsman all lined up. But I mentioned that you're doing the sales thing with Kia. Do you want to let some fans know what you're doing there?
I work for Regan's Kia, so whether it's a new or used car, I can sell any car, new or used. And if you guys know anyone and you send me a customer down, I also pay $50 as a referral fee. But there's like 700 used cars I have access to, so I'm sure there'll be something for you at Regan's if you're looking for a car.
Yeah, whether you wanted to get it nice and dirty with some mud or you want to keep it nice and clean on the mean streets of Halifax. Matt, thanks for hopping on here. Congrats on your top two, and we'll see you around here in TCM.
See you next time.
Matthew Barkhouse, top two, solid run in that truck. Tim, this race, I think, blew all of our expectations away. What a fun race here at the dirt track.
Yeah, a little bit of a shorter field, but these guys put on a show. We saw it at Lima Land, as Tanton mentioned in his interview, that these guys, they're asphalt guys. They don't race dirt on a regular basis, but they put on a show. Big thanks to DC Auto and Doug Critch for helping us out tonight. You guys for being a part of this show. Brand new content. You're going to be able to see it on the Pro Invitational on FS1 or likely TSN in a couple of weeks with iRacing. So a little bit of a preview for you that's on there. And for those that are hopping on the service, get on Bristol Dirt. Richard mentioned the Super Speedway package, the new Aero package. We saw the Super Late model a little bit earlier on. We'll see it tomorrow night as well with the TCM Weekly iRacing series. There's a lot to play around with. Bark Park, I think it is. There's another jumpy truck racetrack out here. There's all the damage model on the 87 car. List goes on and on. Go take a look at the release notes. There's a ton of info in there. But tomorrow night we're going to be going with the TCM Weekly iRacing series, Fatheads Cup series on Bedane TV. That's going to be fun. Thursday is the NEPS Championship. And also want to give a shout out on Monday night, and Mike mentioned it, Mark Best is going to be joining us on TCM Live. So we got a couple of more guests coming up as well, but we'll leave that under wraps for now. That's going to do it. Thank you to everybody for being a part of this. And Doug Critch for presenting the DC Auto Double. Congratulations to our winners, Tanton Woolridge, and a little bit earlier on, Tyler O'Rourke, going to Victory Lane in the Eastbound DC Auto 150. That's going to do it for everybody here. Mike on the Rock, Dylan Langell, Paul Strickland Jr., my name is Tim Terry. What?
I got something for you. I just got a message. I won't say who it's from.
Is it from Phil Fowler?
No, but I just want to say this because I'm sure Tam Woolridge would appreciate it. I just got a message from a good friend. He says, Tam Woolridge puts off an interview like a bleeping cup driver.
There you go.
Bleeping.
But, and you said something about if he's going over there to message you. I think the words of wisdom would be don't hang around Mike James for too long. Because I think you rubbed off on me, too.
I got 5 kids. Nobody hangs around me.
Oh, you got an NASCAR pit crew. I forgot about that. And also
that's why you're coming.
Yeah, and also thanks to R&D Towing for getting the keys out of the old pace car that was sitting at Martinsville. That's going to do it for us tonight here on Bidet. No, you're done.
I'll
you're
send
done.
a video of you rolling pit wall, mother effing bleep bleep. Love you.
Paul, get out of here. Cut this off. My name is Tim Gary. Keep the hammer down. We'll see you at the track. That's it.